he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's like introducing people and hyping people up and like helping people and spending money and the life of the party, and it's like. Would you have sex with this guy?
Would I have sex with him?
Yeah. Because you just said he's so goddamn cool.
He's so goddamn cool. I would no. Sorry, I wouldn't. But like,
Somebody will.
I would hang the hell out with him.
And somebody will, which is the point.
It doesn't like you could. Hey, girls don't have to just for girls to like you doesn't mean that they have to want to fuck you.
Totally. He'd probably be thrilled to just hang out with you, I'm sure. But
No,
you know, this is
so
where I love
cool,
the
though.
internet, man. The internet giveth and taketh, and it can get ugly and it can get bad, but it also can be cool. Like this dude is probably just on cloud 9. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the team manager. He's, you know, probably already like doing what he loves. He's hanging with the guys. As
Did
close
you
to
guys have
basketball.
sports managers in your schools?
They
They were the best.
We basically
They were the
were
fucking best.
like we were like the players. Like the guys on our team were the players.
At our school, because you had to play, you had to be involved in sports, and not everyone can play sports.
Yeah.
So like every team had a manager, and it was just always they were the most fun, coolest dudes in the world.
Yeah.
It was like, and it was perfect. And like you can fuck with them a little bit, but like
Yeah.
not teasing, but it was teasing. It was not like like having a good time.
Bullying. It was like-
you think they're not busting that guy's balls? Like
Of
of course
course.
they are.
Yeah.
But in a fun way rather than in a fucking dickhead way.
One of the original viral like people was that Jason McElwain or whatever. Remember, he was like the autistic kid who hit threes.
I
They put him in the
remember
game.
just that general
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, I think he was kind of one of the original like of those cases of going viral where it's like, look at this kid. You know, now they. I mean, he could shoot though. He was.
This guy's
yeah.
literally like the guy from.
I appreciate
Ted
your
Lasso.
attempt there, by the way.
I wasn't gonna
If that's not his name, I got it wrong anyway. But even if I did it, you were not going to get it.
Oh, he's just like the guy from Ted Lasso. What's his name? Rory or whatever.
Yeah, but he ended up being like a scumbag, right? The bad guy.
I've only watched 2 seasons or a season and a
I
half.
can't.
Yeah.
Coming back for a 4th season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that's kind of crazy.
I'm like, bro. I mean, you know, don't want to yuck your yum, but who the fuck's watching that show?
Everybody,
Still?
it's all
Yeah.
like it's still, if you're on Apple TV, it's still like one of the top 3 shows. Like it's massive.
That show
we just
ran
forget
its
about the
course.
middle of America.
Like I know,
like
but God.
everything we think is
They're
just
coaching
like
a girls team now, right?
he's coaching a girls team.
Well,
yeah.
so that was, I mean, the podcast I was listening had the theory that since all the celebrities are investing in female and like women's soccer, that it's kind of like propaganda for that.
Totally. I mean, whether it's specifically because of that's just the angle right now is for sure women's sports. Like,
Yeah.
that's the play for sure. While we're on television, Dope Thief on Apple TV is so fucking fire.
yeah, it's
2 episodes. I've only watched the first one. Ridley Scott is the either director, producer, something involved in it. The dude from Atlanta and Brian Tyree Henry, he's from Atlanta, and those.
and the guy
Godzilla movies.
from Breaking Bad. I'm sorry, not Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul.
Who's that, Manny?
Wagner Moura. Yeah, he's the bad guy in Better Call Saul. He's like Gus Fring's like bully and stuff like that. Like he's the head honcho.
So these 2 guys are.
I'm assuming it's dope as in drugs, not
Yes.
as in like dope thief.
Yeah.
No, so what they do is the opening scene is them raiding a house, and you think they're DEA agents, but they're just stealing all the drugs and money.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so, and then the first episode is a movie, man. Between Lioness and Paradise, and now this, like I feel like television shows are mastering the art of the pilot to get you hooked early on. If they went another 30, 40 minutes, it could just be a standalone movie.
Yeah.
It was so fucking good.
What was the Bernthal show on HBO? It's not like Thin Blue Line, but it's something like
the
that.
one about the Baltimore cops?
Baltimore cops.
That's
That
another one.
Opening episode had same type deal where they
We own
went
the
in
city.
as cops, stole actually
Yeah.
we own the city. Yeah. That was fucking sick.
Dude, they are they're nailing it. And so, I mean, there's just so much right now. I was trying to think of like, I mean, you know, kind of the joke is like cable. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, if there was one place that you could watch all these things.
I actually saw a commercial the other day. DirecTV is just doing it.
Okay, so
DirecTV, it was like the commercial. Like I don't have DirecTV, but the commercial was like I think it's pigeons watching in a room and being like, did he just go from a Netflix show to a baseball game? How's that happening?
Okay, so they're
And-
doing it because I was gonna say if there was like an app that was like you click a button on the screen for this show, and it puts it all into one little app. You open up your thing and there's Hulu and blah, 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 and then there's one that's just like your custom thing, and it has all your shows loaded up. I would use the shit out of that. Even just a TV guide, like TV guide is not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember TV Guide? Did you have TV Guide?
You remember I don't really remember TV Guide. I mean, not that I wasn't
remember
around.
the channel?
I kind of.
No, wow.
Again, but that was just like
the book was like old
I
school
remember
for
the
me.
book,
But
yeah.
you remember the book?
My grandma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
old
I
school
remember
had
people
that.
having it. I remember
Yeah.
it being a thing, but like it wasn't a thing.
Yeah, the old magazine kind of. But the channel I watched like all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, just figure out what's going on.
That's crazy. That's
I mean, I
awesome.
should say watch all the time, but I would turn it and I would watch it go through and I'd be like, all right. There.
I certainly have memory of it for sure. But like when I think of like a guide, I'm thinking like the Comcast blue box, yellow, toggle. But it wasn't a channel. Like you would hit guide.
Yeah,
and then you just
yeah.
scroll.
I didn't know
by.
it was a channel. I thought it was just like a little pamphlet.
No, yeah, it was like the TV Guide channel. It was just like
I feel like
a scrolling on the side. It would have the channel, and then it would have like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So it would show you which shows are coming out, and it would just scroll.
Oh.
And I would use like now it's like what I really want are these fucking streaming services to advertise with people like us because there's so much goddamn stuff. And if we were to formally be like, here's what you should watch on Monday, here's what you should watch on Tuesday. This premieres on Thursday, but like watch it on Friday because you're watching the show on Thursday. Whatever, like just create a schedule for people. Like,
Yeah.
here is quality TV on this streaming service at this time, or here's the day that it debuts, and like I give you your television for the week because like Dope Thief, I had one person put me onto it, and I really have not seen much else for it, and I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah. But
Pat-
that's the way it kind of works now, where like it comes out and then
it catches on.
and then it catches on, right?
But even,
like
but even like
Paradise, fucking the other P with Gyllenhaal, Presumed Innocent, like all those kind of premiere.
But even once they're out, like just having somebody seal of approval, like this is good.
Yeah.
What I really want to do is start a ranking system. There's IMDb out of 10 and Metacritic out of 10, and there's Tomatoes out of 100, and there's the star rating. But I want like descriptions of shows. This is your time killer. This is your, not guilty pleasure, but like your safety blanket.
Right.
This is you can scroll your phone while watching it, dumb reality show. This is put your phone away and dial in. This is go on Reddit and read threads afterwards. Like, because that's how I judge a show. You know? Am I just putting this on while watch this with your kids, like while they're bothering you, like, when your kids are around, don't watch this, because that's how I need to know what are we talking about here. Is this just for me to kill some time?
The Pit is a good like time killer show.
What's the Pit?
The Pit. You haven't see that's again like kind of what I was just saying with Frankie, how like
your internet's
everything's
different.
so like the Pit is pushed to me so
It's
hard.
all in the subways. It's all throughout New York City.
Yeah,
right?
but like even like I mean it's Max like but like
Yeah.
when you open Max, the Pit is like the big one.
Yeah.
Hacks is almost back, by the way.
Yeah, Hacks early April.
Because I was going to say I haven't been opening Max recently, so that's probably why I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But when I open up for Hacks, I'll see it.
The it's like it's your standard. It's very good. It's very good, but it's like it's a medical drama, which I feel like hasn't been
What does that
around in
mean?
a
Is it
while.
Pittsburgh is the.
It's the ER at Pittsburgh Hospital.
I always thought that this was Adam Sandler when I saw that.
It looks
Noah
like an
Wiley.
action hero. Adam Sandler does.
Yeah.
But it's all in a day, so like it's like 24 style, where like every episode's 1 hour of the day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bro, that to me was one of the coolest like mechanisms I've ever seen on TV. Like,
Yeah, they don't have like the counting clock like 24 did, but
Yeah.
like it's
But the idea.
The
Is
episode.
it 24 episodes?
I would doubt
That
it.
would
It's
be-
not all out, I don't think.
We-
But like episodes are titled like 8 a.m. to 9 a.m.
We
9 a.m.
take-
to 10 p.m. 10
We
a.m.
take that shit for granted. What is that? How many does it say? 10? Yeah.
We're up to 12 right now.
12. All right. So it is more than
No,
usual.
12. It will be 12.
Will be 12, yeah.
12 is the 12
Right.
is out.
But
by
I'm saying
20th.
the fact that it's past 8 or 10.
Yeah.
Like we take for granted that you used to get 21, 22
Yeah.
a season, hour-long shit. Like,
But but now that's too daunting. Like I actually
Agreed.
restarted Lost recently, and then I was like, well, I'm not doing
can't do
6
this.
seasons of 25 episodes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Like, Grey's
but
Anatomy
because there's so
was-
much though, it's like back then it was like one of the only shows you were watching.
Yeah, you had
along
10
with one-
channels.
Right, and so you needed it.
10 channels that there were more than that, but like you had 10 channels that were like legit channels. I don't even know if you had that many.
Probably not.
Right,
I mean,
you
there
had,
was
like-
the major networks, and then like the TNT, TBS, AMC.
Yeah,
And
it's
then the
probably
premiums.
about 10. ABC, NBC, CBS, HBO,
Showtime
TNT,
maybe for a
AMC.
time.
Yeah.
But it's
about
like
10.
10 now.
Yeah.
They're just like 20 streaming services.
Every service is putting out a show a day.
I saw a recap of Lost the other day, and it was crazy because about 2 minutes into this recap, he hadn't even talked about Jack, Kate, Sawyer, like, because really the show is about Jacob and the Man in Black and all that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he was like, this show is about the island, and there's these two guys on the island, and one represents good and one represents bad, and they can't kill each other. So the Man in Black is trying to recruit people to kill Jacob, and their mother is involved in this. And I was like, yeah, that's what this show's about. But you won't see them until like the 6th season, and there's all this other shit that goes on. Like he just kind of, the whole cast was like, and these are the people that get roped into this battle. I was like, that's crazy. That is technically a correct review of Lost.
I need like a Twitter feature also that is when you watch a show, you can like you could say, okay, I'm starting this episode right now, and then it shows you all the tweets, but it doesn't show you until the end of the episode. Because now if I like go and I like try and type the episode, like I'm watching Southern Charm, and like I can't go and see the tweets.
So like time stamped almost.
So like time stamped, so it doesn't release until
I get
as
that.
you
I like
keep
that.
going.
Like
and
so
then-
chronologically, so you don't spoil yourself. Saying.
So you don't see spoilers, or so you just don't see like, you could see the live reaction as if you're watching it live. Because
That is tough.
The Letterboxd I recommend.
Oh.
I do. Like I'll go see like Letterboxd. I'll check Letterboxd like after I go see a movie.
Wait, what
No, but this she wants to be able to. Is there like conversation on Letterboxd?
It's not conversation, but it's like tweets. Like it's
okay.
reviews on Letterboxd are like people treat it like Twitter. Like it's like 3 lines, 2-3 lines, and it's like pretty lighthearted and stuff like that. Like I watched Presents the other night, which was great.
But is it reviews of the whole movie, or like because you're probably talking about the moment in that episode where she cheats on the guy?
Yeah, it's almost like
you
how on
wanna be able to
YouTube
see
there's
those
the live
reactions.
chat, and then it doesn't
Yeah.
like as you scroll.
Yeah,
It moves
no,
around.
it's not like
That's what you
that,
mean.
but it's
Elon,
like
You almost need to like use a hashtag and then have a chronological like scroll.
I feel like I come out with banger ideas, and I don't do anything about them, and I feel like I'm sitting on like.
like
10 million,
my grandma. She
20
invented the electric screwdriver. Never did anything about it.
Did she really?
No. She says she did. It's like, yeah, of course you did. She was like, 100 years ago was trying to screw something, and she's like, I wish this did it for me.
Yeah.
You didn't invent the electric screwdriver, Mom. Grandma, you just fucking said something that everybody wishes they had.
I feel
But
like I cut somebody off. I'm sorry.
the TV, back to the TV shit, like, there's just so much out there that needs to be watched and like is probably going unnoticed. But
Do you guys think that the I don't know if I've already asked this, but TV, like the slow burn nature, will get rid of movies in a few years? Because I almost feel like watching movies now, the storylines seem way too rushed.
yeah, 'cause
But-
you're trying to cram everything into like 2
Because
hours.
you're trying to cram everything. Where we're used to like being fed.
I
very...
think slow burns are I think there's very few good slow burns. I think slow burn is a crutch that a lot of people lean on for slow ass shows.
I was gonna say it's a bastardized word that doesn't
Yeah.
really mean anything.
There's
Like-
very few
Like I would describe White Lotus this year as a slow burn, but like people just say it. Like it does. We talk about this ad nauseum. Like you say a word enough, it doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah,
Like
it's
slow-
like when nothing's happening in your show and you call it a slow burn. It's like, no, it's just
Like
Well,
I think
I
White
was-
Lotus is slow burn because after every episode you're like, oh, we're almost there.
They do it
We're
well.
almost
True
there."
Detective did it well. There's some like
Yeah.
it basically just has to be a good show that doesn't rely upon a reveal or a bang scene or sex or anything gratuitous, and you still feel gripped. And there's plenty of shows that are like, this is average and we ain't moving here,
Yeah.
bro. And when people are like, you gotta get to episode 10, I'm like, that's 10 hours of fucking nothing. No way. Not doing it,
Yeah. Well, and I say slow burn just meaning more like
Just
since
over
the
the course
ad
of
era,
episodes.
like everything has gotten so much better because you don't need that bang to like loop them in before the ads
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. So now it's like we don't have to speed up the storyline as much, and all the shows are just more high
I
quality.
do
but,
like that movies are, self-contained though, and like,
Yeah.
you're gonna get a start, middle, and an end.
I movies are probably also too like they almost like go like the way of museums. And like people still go, and it's still a fucking huge industry, but
Yeah.
it's not like the main thing people do anymore. Like
You know what I think they need? Well, I'll go back and forth because like there is something to the big screen and the sound and the popcorn and the shared experience.
The way that can I just say something? Okay, sorry. The way that John like rubs his eyes, just like a giant baby rubs his eyes, and I've noticed this has been something.
Like this?
That, yeah. it's
When
just
you
like,
see a baby,
that's
like,
great. Like,
little
act like
babies
a man.
actually do
They do
this. Like
he
it's
does
so
it.
funny.
And
well,
he, like,
how do
just-
you guys rub your eyes?
Just like a normal fucking human.
I had
I can't
never
because I
even-
make up
If I were to do it, I would probably go like that. Like
that-
How do you rub your eyes?
that was very dainty. Paz like you're what's that called? Mewing when they Shay came home the other day and she was like, I was talking about like blah 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 and Giacomo kept just mewing at me and I was like,
Oh no.
what the fuck does that mean? It's like some kid just going like this to her. Yo, it's so funny watching like they're like I'm washed, I've been washed. There are people who have called me old, and now I'm like, you guys are fucking old. Like,
Yeah.
Like there's a whole generation of shit. Like I probably now know more slang than like young people do because I got young people.
Yeah.
You know, like good boy. You know, good boy.
No.
Like good boy. Like all the kids just say good boy.
Oh,
I know,
do
which
not
is
like
really
that.
weird.
Don't
So there's
like that.
there's a streamer called Dom the Troll. Does that make sense? Something the Troll.
Yeah.
And he walked up to a cop and he's like, "What's your badge and number? What's your number and name?" And the guy's like, "I'm Officer Smith, 1 2 3 4 5." And he goes, "Good boy." Like just kind of like he's fucking with cops and so now all the kids say good boy. And like it's on teachers have like list of banned words like you're not allowed to say good boy. It's crazy. Like they have their own little like ecosystem of like that's where like Sigma and all those things come from, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like the probably teenager to like 20s, they're fucking washed up now, you know. They have their own little good boy is a
Are
weird
you,
one though.
like you're just saying? Do you think I'm old? Do you think I'm washed?
Yeah, you're washed.
Yeah. Dude, we had I was talking to Peyton this weekend.
Oh my god.
Peyton almost legitimately jumped off a roof when I told her how old I was.
Thinking that you were younger.
She was like, and you're a little older. Like, you're probably like 30. And I went, I'm 36. And Peyton had a reaction. Like, it was
like, get away from me.
so
Like, I
like,
can't be hanging out with you. How old is she? She's like your age? She's younger?
Yeah, she's 24. I think.
She's younger than you.
like the
She's
idea
way
that
singular, maybe a
Young.
few months.
She's
younger
way
than-
younger than you.
the idea that she could have been talking to a 36-year-old had never crossed her mind.
And
it was a
something that she would
genuine shock.
never thought she would do.
Yeah. It honestly, her reaction very much reminded me of Abella's. Like,
Having sex with a 50-year-old.
Yeah, what was the only person who said sex? I don't know, 50. Like it was, like it hadn't. She was completely befuddled. Like, it was,
Dude, people have been saying to me like, "You're only 40." I'm like, "Wait, what? I thought I was fucking older than
Do you
that."
feel like we glazed over the fact that you turned 40 too much?
Well, that's why I tried to say the other day, like, I will be doing something bigger. It just was.
Do you want us to plan it?
No,
Really?
yeah, because I'm gonna do it at my house, and you can't plan something at my house. You know what I mean? But I had everybody
If you
do this
want
to
me
me.
to.
Thank you for offering. I had my family, and everybody was
Okay.
like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "The thing I want to do, I just can't do yet, and I don't want to do something that I don't want to do just because of the timeline. So
Yeah.
just give it a minute. The weather will be nicer. It'll actually play out better, and we'll do it then."
I've been trying to start a happy hour here, and then I've been telling everybody that I'm going to start a happy hour, and now I'm at the point where, like, they actually said no to my happy hour, but then I've told everybody that I was going to have a happy hour, so now I'm in a weird spot where, like, everyone keeps asking about my happy hour, and then I keep being like, it's coming, guys, but then they keep saying no to my happy hour, so I just
you're
don't-
like, I trying to make it like an official happy hour.
yeah, I just want, but then I like my issue was I told everybody about my happy hour, so it's like upstairs people too. So now I made it a whole thing. So now it's like a company party, and we have the budget for a happy hour, but we don't have a budget for a company Christmas party. technically. So it's just I'm in a weird spot, and I just
do
I
it
don't-
Thursday. Game time, baby. The best part of college basketball is here, and we know that you are excited as we are to watch some big upsets throughout the tournament. We're talking McNeese State. We're talking fucking Speaker Box Boy. We're talking that's all I know about McNeese. But those two things, we're talking. While we're streaming in the cave, you can get out to see the action in person with Gametime, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Gametime makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the app actually go down the closer it gets to showtime. Plus, the Game Time Picks feature makes it even easier to find great deals on the seats that you want. You can even find last-minute tickets for the tournament for up to 60% off quickly and easily. Just pull up your chosen event and turn on the GT Picks setting at the top of the screen, or browse the local Game Time's Picks deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. I was looking at tickets. You know what I was looking at? Because I actually was earlier. Clemson, good friend of mine went to Clemson. They are playing McNeese. They are doing it in the hub, Providence, Rhode Island. And I was considering going up for it. I'm not going to make it. But you should, because the Dunk is a great place to watch a game. And McNeese State is where I think they're called McNeese State, right? Or is it just McNeese? It is McNeese State. Okay. Or whatever. We're running the table, but get in. We'll see McNeese while you can. They got great curated deals for all tiers of tickets, and you know you're getting the top option when you see the super deal icon. What are you waiting for? I'm going to get those McNeese Clemson tickets right now with Game Time Picks. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code KFC for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code KFC. They wanted me to spell that out for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game Time. Who?
Big weekend of content. I had a lot of content out this weekend. Let's begin with Bill Belichick and his girlfriend. Oh my God, bro. One of the things, like, if you told me, legitimately, let's rank them, okay? If you told me 15 years ago that like Donald Trump would be who he is, you'd be like, what are you fucking crazy, you know? If you told me 15 years ago that a massive amount of women are just turning into sex workers on a website that like allows them to do so, I'd be like, what? If you told me that Bill Belichick would be on a beach with a girlfriend 50 years younger than him doing like some eat, pray, love yoga, like that would be number one on the list of impossible.
Is that what they're doing, yoga?
I don't know. What the fuck? What would you call that? I don't know. Like little fun fucking
like
gymnastics
I
poses
thought,
and yoga and
I
shit.
thought like maybe the caption was like we were doing yoga.
No, the caption was hashtag spring break. Hashtag still got it. Hashtag us time. Which might be crazier than the action.
It is.
I said, bro, Bill Belichick doesn't know what spring break is. Spring break didn't exist for Bill Belichick when he was a sage. That's not even a fucking thing. If she's still talking about spring break, she's too young for you. And I mean that for a regular age person, let alone a 75-year-old. I mean, this is incomprehensible to someone who grew up in like the Patriots era.
Yeah, no, it's for sure like everything that's happened since 2020 is like
impossible.
You were like, this could never. And I mean strictly with Patriots fan stuff. Like everything, you're like, what, Tom Brady's going to play for the Buccaneers?
Right.
Bill Belichick's going to coach college football.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick's going to have a
24-year-old girlfriend.
That one's the only one that was like, maybe, because he did have like a younger, hot girlfriend. Like,
she was like 50.
But it was like, it wouldn't be, I don't know. I honestly, I guess now that I hadn't really thought about it, now that I'm saying it, like, he was like the hot girlfriend guy for a while.
Relatively speaking.
The
fact that he has like a hot girl period. Like, dude, the way there was that video a couple weeks ago of her, the viral caption was like, if your girl wears a jacket off her shoulders, like she's too young, sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
She just had it like around her, arms. But like the way that girl even
I don't think that's a young thing at all. That I think is an older, classy thing. Like with the jacket draped on your shoulders.
I think the way the way girls wear it, where it's like on their arms, but just off their shoulders.
Yeah. Completely opposite. Yes, that's incredibly young.
I've only seen young girls.
I thought you were talking about like draped like a cape.
No.
That's like elegant and sexy.
Yeah, this is like I never even understood it. It seems so uncomfortable to me.
Yeah,
it's like crazy.
That's like putting yourself in a straitjacket.
Yeah, but even the way like her feet like flop like a little kid does. Like I watch like my kids, I'm like, you're too like big for your body. You haven't even figured it out. Yeah. That's how like she walked around. And now like Bill doing the yoga with us time. I can just imagine her being like, come on, babe. And he's just like, no, we gotta go to the beach now. We gotta do yoga.
Honestly, I would think back in the day, back to like Grudgment Day and stuff like that. And I was always like, again, not like this age gap is weird, but just like I'm like, why? What do you both want to do together?
You talking about Dave?
Yeah.
And that's 1/5 of the difference.
That was like Dave was probably in his late 30s.
Right.
And I was like, what do you two want to do together?
I mean, this is an old man.
Yeah.
Like, you could die soon. You know, I mean, that's probably what's going on here, by the way. But I mean, she's like involved with UNC now and like she's like his assistant and like, I mean, she is.
That email where it was like Belichick sent it and it was like, please make sure Jordan's copied on all emails. I was like, dude, you can't be.
It's crazy. Like other people must be like, fuck this girl. I just couldn't believe it. I just could not believe it. I was like, this is a man who like he lived on oxygen, water, and Lombardi, you know, and football, and now he's like.
It's very much though like with my opinion with literally everything is like, look, if it makes you happy, do your thing. But just so you know, us reasonable people are gonna call it wacky. Like,
totally.
You know what I mean?
Like this is insane.
If it makes you happy, fucking do it. Great.
But we're gonna talk about it.
But like, it's fucking wacky to the regulars.
Yeah. Yeah. How old do you think you could go, Jackie?
Well, that would be up to that. Like, I feel like I don't know if I have the maturity for like a 50-year-old to want me. Do you know what I mean?
But I don't think 50-year-olds I don't think they're going like for maturity. I think what they want is immaturity.
Let me explain what the 50-year-olds. Let me explain what the 50-year-old is looking for a 24-year-old for. It's not the
They're not
maturity.
looking to have reasonable discussions. Yeah. You know?
Like I think if he was.
That was a crazy thought, Jackson.
I don't know. Well,
you got it all the way fucked up.
Sometimes I think like people my age. Whenever I'm around people my age, I'm like, all right, this is like my element, like whatever. But in so much more than like when not. So then I think, although I could see myself like with a 50-year-old, like
okay, let's put it this way: if you met a 30-year-old, you wouldn't blink, right? If he was like young, hot, whatever.
Yeah. Mid-30s,
you're okay. 40-year-old guy, are you starting to pause? Or are you still like if you met someone who is in the business, you met like a comedian, like a comic who I have a podcast. I'm
comedians are young at heart.
Okay, so like
that I think I
so
could
what
do.
if it was like a 40-year-old businessman?
Don't think I could do that.
So 40.
That's interesting. I can see that. That like logic makes sense. Like,
it's because like I don't want to sit around.
Super immature person who's about my age mentally, I can handle.
I don't want to sit around talking about like your spreadsheets and your taxes.
I don't.
Bro, I don't. I was getting dinner the other day with a friend, and I was like, they were in town for work, and I was like, so tell me what you do, and I was. Why did I do that? I was like, John, fucking listen. Yeah. And like, take interest in your friend.
Couldn't do it.
And he got 3 sentences in, and I was like, that's the most boring shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. Like, he's like, I was like, so, and like, even as he was explaining, I was like, this isn't a job. You're not explaining to me a job.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, it's like, so we're going to go in, and we're going to, I'll go in under this family office, and then we meet, and we talk about stuff. And I was like, this is your job, dude?
Yeah.
Why haven't you killed yourself?
Your life?
It sounds fucking miserable.
Yeah,
I was like, and I'll see if I can do anything for them, and they'll see if they can do anything for me. I was like, is this what business is? This sucks.
Put a gun in your mouth.
I realized because I think because like on family trips, my dad would be on calls, and he would be like saying business terms, and then it would be like. It just would somehow Pavlov myself to be like, this is not important.
Check
like,
out.
Fall asleep, check out.
Yeah, this is not for
and
you.
so then when somebody's saying, and if they say leveraging, I'm out. Like, I'm literally like, I'm out.
I really like, I do that occasionally where I'm like, I know you're going to not want to listen to this, but fucking listen to this.
Yeah.
And then like before I knew it, I was just counting cabs driving by.
Yeah. I don't
how many guys, like, what are the jobs of...
finance.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So I didn't want to generalize, but it just seems like every guy is in finance or something finance adjacent, real estate, taxes, whatever. But it's like you're just talking about money managing, and guys are so into that, and they compete with each other over that. But I can't imagine there's a single woman out there who wants to fucking talk about it, unless they're in finance as well.
Like all my friends,
they're into it for the money, but they don't fucking care about the shit, do they?
But a lot of my friends have like finance jobs too.
Yeah, I was gonna say unless you're in it yourself, then
yeah. But I'm just like, okay, I'm realizing I'm not. Like I think I just have to date like a creative.
Well, you're like famous now.
But the issue is that I'm famous.
But I was thinking like you are. Like when you meet people, do they know who you are now?
No,
not yet.
No,
we're gonna get the show bigger.
I mean, I'll get.
But like when you meet someone, maybe if you don't even know them, if you tell them like I'm on a podcast, you tell them when you're on a podcast. You probably don't even do that. You're probably like I am. I
say I edit a podcast.
Yeah, you should be like I'm on a podcast.
I never will.
You should say I host a podcast.
But I say I work for Barstool Sports, and that's enough. There's actually no. Do you know Dave? Do you know?
Yeah.
So, but But yeah, and then whenever I talk about my job, like I don't say I'm on. But then normally they'll find me on Instagram. They'll be like, "Wait, why do you kind of have like?"
Yeah, right. So eventually they figure it out. They're like, "Wait, what's going on here?" You know?
But you'd be surprised. Like guys don't care what I do. Like they don't.
Bro,
they don't give a.
I would
fuck.
not be surprised. I cannot tell you how little I care about a girl's job, and I don't mean that in like.
No, but
I don't care about a guy's job either. I don't care about.
I don't take that.
If you want to talk to me about your work, you better have like one of 3 jobs.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I do not care.
Okay, so what jobs would you care about?
It would have to be something in sports, comedy, entertainment. Otherwise, like.
But I would never, like, if I met a girl that I liked, she could be a teacher, she could be a finance chick, she could be famous, she could be probably fucking unemployed. It doesn't make a difference to me. I don't know. I just like at least for, I would imagine average guys, you're kind of programmed to be like, I have to make all the money I need in my life.
Right.
I have to buy the house and I have to do like it's just never even on the table. Like maybe I'll find a woman who does all that shit for me.
Yeah.
So it does not matter what you do. And it's like if you make some money, like it's a bonus.
Yeah.
You know. But if you're interested in it and you want to talk about it, like fine. But I do not care what it is or how much money you make.
I think it probably depends.
And
like,
that was before money, after money. Like I never cared.
Like what kind of household you were raised in, or like what your friends were. But like my household was very traditional. Like my dad worked, my mom raised us.
Do you think there are guys like
they both raised us, obviously, but
I just still even. Yes, obviously that holds true, but like. I can't imagine there are many guys out there just being like, I'll find somebody to like take care of the money.
No,
it's just not a thing.
There's like literally zero.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's just never even, and even you could be a smart, capable, working woman, but there's still some element of like they will pay for things or they will make. You know what I mean? It's just not even in my.
I think
brain.
It's just like that's how men are traditionally raised. I read a thing the other day that was pretty interesting. Huh?
Anthony Mackie's quotes?
No.
You go first and I'll tell you mine.
It was about guys and when guys get sick and they're such babies about it. And it was interesting. It was like a psychological breakdown of why that is. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like, I don't think anyone knows exactly.
I have a theory on that. What did that say?
Oh, it was because when you're raised in like traditionally masculine households, you're taught always like you didn't get hurt, get up, you're fine. And you're taught like you don't really have emotions, like chill out, but bottle them down. And the only time you're allowed to be like vulnerable
that was my theory.
When you're sick and like your mom will take care of you and stuff.
It's like you know why I'm complaining about this right now? Because I haven't complained for the last year. This is the 3 days a year that you might help me.
Well, can I tell
I'm
you
letting
mine?
you know, like I really feel like shit. And every girl's like, they're such pussies. It's like, how about the other 364 days where you complain about your stomach ache and your headache and every fucking thing else?
Well, my theory is that since we're on, because you guys aren't on a lunar cycle the way that we are, and so you're used to once a month, you like want to kill every single man that you see. Once a month, you have the worst cramps you've ever had in your entire life. You have like you go through ups and downs, so you're kind of used to like your body just being like, what the fuck is going on? Like you're in like you don't freak, but like men, you guys are steady the whole time.
But
whereas
we're
women,
not.
we're
You just think we are. Because the whole time we're suffering. We just don't fucking talk about it. I mean, obviously not in a, like you guys have a literal thing that happens. I understand that. But it's like you go through something horrendous at work and you're stressed out with this and your wife and your coworker, and you don't say any of it, where it's like every single day it's like, did you see what happened today at work? Sandra said this and that. It's like, we just don't ever do that. So the one day that we're like, puking and shitting at the same time, we're like, oh, I feel like shit. And girls are like, you pussies. It's like, okay, well, guess what? I'm going to not even talk about that now. And in 6 months, when I have an eruption, because I've been keeping all emotions in for the last 5 years, then you're going to tell me to go to therapy.
Okay. Okay.
That's what we call an unpacking.
So anyway, Phil Belichick, doing yoga.
I was more saying like in terms of like the sniffles or like a sore throat, I just go, all right, it's probably like a period thing or whatever, and we chalk it up to that. Whereas you guys aren't used to feeling a weird illness.
I wish we could. I wish we could all take a walk in each other's shoes, because I would wonder, like, yes, there definitely are some people who are like, yeah, man. I mean, when I wake up in the morning, I never feel good. I don't tell you, like, My point is, I think most guys will complain when it is bad enough. But if girls would hop in our shoes and be like, yeah, this feels like every day
you
for
guys
us.
you guys are not open to like complain and cry and everything, and that could take it all. And I invite you guys to share your emotions with, and it's a safe space if you ever want to.
Dude,
right.
Bill Burr's new special, Drop Dead, on Hulu is very funny, and it's all about basically this. I'm not gonna do a bunch of his jokes, but the general gist is like Bill has kind of found out that he was like, I was a meathead, I was a little tough around the edges, and he's talking about like being emotional with his wife lately, and he said he has this one thing. This would be the one I did tell, but it was like he told his wife for the first time he was sad, and he was like I was like 4 days on the couch and I was under a blanket, and she's like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, I'm just sad. And she was like, is there anything I did? He's like, no, we're actually fucking great. Like, we're the better we've ever been. You've done nothing wrong. I'm just sad. And his wife goes, oh, well, I'm sorry. And walks away. And he goes, didn't know that was an option.
I'll be saying that every time.
He goes, 20 goddamn fucking years of being like, that's between you and Samantha, I think. I'll catch you later.
Yeah, like you say that we can do that. We can't. You can't. There needs to be a couple more generations of this shit before girls are like actually going to accept that. Because if we start to do it, you'd be like, you guys are whiny bitches. Because again, the one time we do it when we're sick, it's put on blast on the internet. Men are pussies.
Okay, whatever. You guys got to run the world. So if you if you want to run the world, then you can't.
I invite you to run the world, Jackie.
Fucking run it.
All right. Well, then I guess we have ourselves in a little standstill.
Bert's new special is out today as well. Lucky is out. I was down in Austin with Bert. He, for lack of a better term, he's a machine. This house we were at in South by was actually Feidelberg's dream. I was sad you weren't there because it was like right up your alley. First of all, it was just great house, pool, booze. They had Philip Lee was there. He was making
sushi by scratch.
Yes. And now he has a new burger thing called NADC, Not a Damn Chance Burger. Bro, take all your Shake Shack, your five guys, your In and Out, your Jack in the Box, throw them in the fucking garbage. This burger was unbelievable, and they took pickles and soaked them in Porosos vodka. It was like a nice little touch. They were. It was spectacular. So the food was amazing. The party's amazing. There was a sauna, cold plunges, a masseuse table, and a tattoo artist. And we were just hanging in the sauna, drinking beers in the sauna. We would hop in the pool or the cold plunge afterwards. Guys getting massages, a whole setup of mushrooms. Got like a Sherpa telling you like this is what you want, this is what you need, and then you could grab like a silly tat if you wanted to. And I was like, this is Feidelberg's whole life. Food, booze, tats, drugs, and meathead activities. Yeah. Like I was so
that really is the best.
Totally.
Was it real tattoos or?
It was real tattoos. It was like I guess this is a thing when they do these parties, they'll bring a tattoo artist and you can pick like 5 tattoos that are just kind of like outline tattoos because real ones take like hours and hours and hours. So it's like, do you want the butterfly, the flower, the this, the that, and you can pick like one of those things.
Okay.
So I found myself, this is one of these moments I was just like, what is happening? I was in a sauna, pretty tight sauna, with me, Bert Kreischer, and that freak show who's trying to live forever, Brian Johnson.
Yeah, I was like scrolling through your stories, and I was like, I scrolled down, I was like, I think that was that fucking dick guy.
Which I like him now, though. I think he's ridiculous, but I was borderline, not even borderline. I was just being disrespectful. I was like, what is this? What are you doing? What's the fucking point of this? And he was pretty like reasonable about it. So I was like, oh, all right. I was like, first of all, what happens when you get hit by a bus? I was like, I don't know. I'm not wishing ill on you, but like, something like that's going to happen. He's like, 100%. 100%. And the internet is going to have a fucking field day when I get taken out by like lightning or something, doing all of this to live as long as I can. And I was like, what? Why do you even want to do this? Like what? I don't even want to live 70, let alone 170. You know. And he was saying like, if you went back in time and told the caveman, like I'm going to live to 50, he'd be like, what are you doing that for? Like, all you need is 30. You know what I mean? And that kind of made me change my perspective. And then he said, if you went back to the first caveman who had like an axe or like like made a weapon, you know how much more ahead they were than the rest of the people, you know? And he was saying he thinks that's what like integrating like AI and technology into people is, you know what I mean? And so that was just like his logic of what he's trying to do next. And like basically you could be the caveman who's going to like use these tools or whatever. Yeah. But the fact that I was just like, this is fucking stupid and weird. And he was like, yeah, no, it's crazy, man. You know? And I'm sitting there with him and Bert, and I was like, I think Bert's gonna outlive you. It's like he's the type of guy who, when he's 110, he's like, I drank every day of my life and ate every day of my life, and like Brian Johnson just like kicks the bucket because you know he has an aneurysm or some shit that he can't stop. So I was like doing that. I was just like, me, Bert, and the weird guy wants to live forever. This is fucking crazy. And then Bert, he's just I love Bert Kreischer so much, man.
He's the best.
He is the best. And I know there's like, you know,
I'll just send Bert. I just like send him like. After doing the 320, that was like the official for me. Like
what?
When he benched 320, that was like
incredible.
Okay, he can do everything.
He can do everything,
and
man.
I'll just like randomly be like, dude, I forget you can bench 320.
325. 325. You want more? 325.
Serious weight.
That's big weight. Dude.
I think it's considered once you pass 225, like that's when you're like strong. And that's an extra 100 pounds.
That's incredible. You could give me like my whole life to train. I don't think I would get that ever. He's just so like, and I get that if you're a fan and you just watch him on a podcast, maybe you don't like his laugh. Maybe he's on a lot of shows. Whatever reason people don't like podcasters or influencers, I could see where that might be the case. So if you don't get to hang out with him and you don't get to see him and all that, but when you do, like every time, like. He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's like introducing people and hyping people up and like helping people and spending money and the life of the party. And it's like, you're just the fucking man.
He's actually I was just thinking about this. He's kind of the opposite of Brian Johnson in the sense that, that's his name, right? Yeah. And like, it's don't die, right? Is his like tagline or like you have one job,
he's like,
don't
live,
die.
Live,
or something like that. And Bert's is the exact opposite. Yeah. Where it's like, have fun today.
It was interesting watching them interact because he was saying that. He was like, I'm not thinking. He actually said for the first time he is thinking long term. He was talking about his future and all that because he's like, all my kids are out of the house and like I just don't know what to do right now, and so I'm thinking more long term. But his thing is like live for the now.
Yeah, right.
Which is the total opposite of Brian. You know? It was cool watching them interact.
I personally tend to lean more that way, but like Bert is the complete embodiment of like, enjoy today, but tomorrow figure tomorrow out.
But he's just like he knew what I was doing there, and he's helping me out, and he's getting me and all my friends into places, and just like shit that he doesn't need to be doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're the fucking man, dude. That's why I can't stand. And I know there's, you know, I just feel like in a similar boat when there are people that you interrupt too much, or you laugh too much, or you're in too many things, and I'm like, I get where you might feel that way, but if you look a smidge beyond that, Bert's the fucking man.
I don't know. I don't think that really bothers Bert. It's like, I don't know. I'm having fun today.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of cameras around. I don't know. But like I would be having fun today whether or not these cameras were here.
He told a story about he went to dinner with Joe and Taylor Sheridan and Leanne and a whole bunch of people were there. And Taylor Sheridan was like holding court and was like, you know, he was monopolizing the conversation, you know. And he was like, but he's Taylor fucking Sheridan. He's like one of the greatest storytellers of all time. So like, let him cook, you know. And so I feel the same way about him. And like, you know, Bert's one of these like, you know, super rare. You know, I let him cook the same way. Like, oh, do your thing. So anyway, he has like about 6 beers like in our sauna session alone, which is just crazy. I'm like, I was not anticipating any of this. So I'm sitting in the sauna, pouring with sweat, be like, what am I going to do for the rest of the day now? It's just, and Bert,
you don't get drinking at all.
and Bert grabs the tattoo gun. He's like, who wants tattoos? And this one dude, the first dude.
Did you get a tattoo?
No. I was thinking about it. I was actually, when I saw there was a tattoo artist, I was like, start thinking now because you might get pressured into this. Once I saw that it was all like, you could just do these individual ones, I was like, I'm not going to get like a butterfly.
Yeah.
But when Bert was like, what do you want? And so the first guy got Lucky tattooed. That's the name of his Bert Special. He got that tattooed on his ankle. And then like the hottest chick at the party was like, can you give me a tat? And everyone was trying to figure out where she was going to put it, you know? She wanted it like right on her ribs where like she could cover it for work. But everyone was like, that's going to hurt too much. And and we're trying to find out a spot that she can cover it up. And long story short, he ends up giving her a 4-leaf clover, like right on the back of her arm. It actually came out pretty good. But I was just watching this man operate, just like giving tats, promoting his show, throwing back beers. He was in flip-flops and like a matching button-up and short set, and I was just like, this guy's the funniest. I just love the guy so much.
Pabs and I went to a party, and there was like a fake tattoo or whatever, and we were going to come with KFC radio and then a teardrop, and I'm so happy.
So happy we did not.
We went to the mothership afterwards. I got to see Shane tell the Notre Dame jerk-off story, which is, I mean this sincerely. My favorite thing, truly, in life is storytelling and hearing stories. You know, like getting together with the boys and they tell you the one crazy story. And you've heard it 1,000 times and you still like to hear it again and again, you know. I think that might be the funniest story ever told. In the history of just retelling stories and events that occurred, that might be the funniest story ever.
It's crazy. Like, I remember the time we heard it at Borelli's. We were like talking to him afterwards, like, how? Because that story is from when he was a kid. We're like,
how did it take this long?
It's been 10 years, and he's like, I've been working it here and there.
Yeah,
but
I think it's gonna be a focal point of like his new special, which is I think coming out like much later. But like, I was like, when that one hits and the world like knows that one.
Yeah, it's. I remember I told it to Pavs the day after I heard it, and I retold it the best I could, and that had you in tears.
I was gonna say he had me dying.
I laughed for like 12 straight minutes right after.
Yeah, dude. I was tears in my eyes at the mothership. So fucking funny, man. He got an ovation that was like I was like, yo, this is rock star shit.
Yeah.
Like I truly could not believe it. And you know what? We had a really, really nice moment. James McCann is his name, the Australian comic.
I don't.
I think that's it. Can you look this up? I think it's James McCann, but I might be mixing him up with the Mets catcher. Do you like James McCann, Australian comic? Yep, James McCann. That's him. Very funny guy. He had a great set, and we were in the green room of Mothership, and Shane introduced me to him, and he was like, "This is Kevin. He's from Barstool." And he's like, "Oh, cool, nice to meet you." And he goes, "Kevin's got a podcast, or he's been really good to the comedy community." And I was like, well, "Thanks, man." And James was like, "All right, cool." And then he like stopped him, and he was like, "No, for real. These guys put us on when nobody else would. Like when we were nothing. KFC Radio was like our home." And I stopped and I was like, "Thank you for saying that, man." Like truly, like stopped the conversation. I was like, "Wow, like thank you, somebody."
That was really nice.
And he was like, "For sure, I got you, man." It's like, "Fuck yeah." It was really cool. So yeah, I had a whole like awesome. I did the scooter. Hopped on the scooter.
Really?
Did not. I love the scooter. I've always loved the scooter. Remember when we got that scooter like in the old HQ for like a day? It broke after like 2 days. But the original company that did the electric skateboards and scooters, I can't remember their name now. They were like the first one. They gave us one. And I was like, I'm going to use this all the fucking time. And it was like a prototype, so it crapped out like after like a day. And I tried to get a new one, and they were like, no. But I remember zipping up Park Avenue. This was back when I was still taking the train at Grand Central. I was like, I'm either going to die on this or like I'm loving life. Hair in the wind, just scooting around town. But everybody does it in Austin. And I was like, I did not understand really how it works. I thought it was like a city bike where like you have a place that you get them and a place that you drop them off. So I was like, what if I'm going somewhere where there's no scooters or whatever? So I find one right outside my hotel. I scoot to the party. And then when I was leaving, the scooter was gone. And I was like, fuck, somebody stole my scooter. And they were like, this is how it works, dude. Yeah. You just take a scooter. Yeah. I was like, oh, I did not realize that. I thought like once you buy a scooter, you have to return it, and then you're like on the hook for it, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? I'm going to have to buy the scooter now? And they're like, no, you just take scooters. So I was like, I can just take this one right here, which is kind of funny, though. It's like, I don't know, what if someone was banking on scooting home?
Yeah.
And then I took your scooter. But yeah, I was full-blown Austin hipster. I was scooting around.
How long were you down there for?
Tuesday. I went home a little early. I ended up leaving. No, it was Tuesday to Friday. Left early Friday. But yeah, doing the full. South by Southwest is, I would argue that Austin can't even host it anymore. It's too big.
Really?
It's just too big. It's like getting anywhere. The traffic was fucking insane. I feel like it used to be tech and more tech oriented, you know. tech and music, and now it's like content, podcasting, comedy, all that shit. So I think it's just grown in scale. I mean, it is.
Once you create a new like a city, it's pretty fucking hard to make it usable. Like once everyone moves to a city, like we can't just make infrastructure. It's we
the
can't
city
just
is what
add
it
a
is.
subway.
Yeah,
like,
right. That's why the New York City subway is like thank God they did it when they did it, and they did it as well as they did it because it's held up for like 120 years. Otherwise, you can't dig up the ground now.
When I was in Dublin, and because after Brexit, everything, all the European hubs of major companies had to get out of London because they're like, this isn't doing anything for us here. So they all moved to Dublin because it was closest, English speaking, all that stuff. And I remember the cab driver was sitting in a ton of traffic, and he's like, yeah, after Brexit, like it just became like this because Netflix is headquartered here and Hulu's headquartered here and all these major companies are headquartered here. He's like, it just got like this, and there's nothing we can do. He's like, we can't. These buildings are 2,000 years old. We can't do anything. It's just there's just going to be a shitload of people here in traffic. Like we can't widen the roads. There's nothing we can do.
And if you tried to, it's like what it took. It takes like 30 years for the subway, the Second Avenue subway, to be built in New York because you can't. Once the city's going, you can't stop it.
Yeah, you can't. But like even like particularly in Europe, like we can't widen the streets.
No,
we can't move buildings.
This was created for the 1400s. Right. Like maybe a horse would go by.
Yeah. Like here, probably Austin, even a better chance of maybe creating some roadways or stuff like that. But like
at least you can like expand
buildings that have been there for hundreds of thousands of years. Or I'm sorry, not hundreds, thousands of years. Yeah.
Did you see Schultz's clip? I think he was on All In Pod talking about Austin.
No.
He was like, "You're here for tax purposes.
Yeah,
let's just call
it was so obvious the day Rogan moved. It was like right before he signed his. It's like, I'm moving for freedom. It's like, no, whatever, do your thing. But like,
and I think Schultz said something like, and now a bunch of interesting people came here, or maybe this is I don't know. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but what I was thinking was like, the city might be interesting because of all that, but you came here for money.
It's a tax haven.
Yeah, it's a tax haven, and once Joe Rogan and this tech creator and this restaurateur and all these things move here, there's probably you get some value because it's like, oh, all these cool people are here, but you're here for money.
Yeah,
like that. And if they had high taxes and like Nashville didn't, you'd be there.
Yeah.
And if they had high taxes and Denver didn't, it would be there. And then it's good for flights. It's like there's a couple other ancillary things, but you're here for money.
It's 100%.
And like, don't tell me fucking otherwise, So yeah, that was.
Which is just a funny thing to me, like making your bones or whatever in like a state with taxes, and then being like, all right, all that really worked for me. I gotta get the fuck out of here. Is crazy to me.
Schultz was like, the deal for me to move would have to be like astronomical.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm a New Yorker, so I have like roots here. I get if you're like, if it's all the same, I'll just leave and make my money, Like, if I'm not from either of these places, you know what I mean? If I'm not from New York, I'm not from Austin, I'm from Florida or whatever. I guess Florida's not a good example because they have taxes as well. But it's just like, if I didn't have like a home and all my friends and all my comics and my industry and the taxes were all good, I'd be like, I'm going there, you know? But if you have like family and life and all that, and you made your career in a certain spot, like, I mean, I guess it reaches a point where I always think about it the opposite way. I understand if you're Joe Rogan, you're making $1 billion, your taxes are like $400 million. Right.
Right.
But you're making $1 billion. It almost feels the opposite to me. If I was making like 60 grand, I'd be like, I gotta get the fuck out of the city. Because I'm only making 60 and I'm giving you 35. Once I'm making
but they're giving like 8.
Well, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, to me that feels like it's the opposite. But I guess, with the brackets and the amount of money you reach, you're just like, it's too much money. But I feel like those are the guys who can afford. Like, I would not give up my home for taxes.
No.
If I didn't have anything.
Like, the way I think of it is like, well, like, I don't know. This is where I was raised. This is what helped make me. It's on me to fucking give it back.
Yeah, but I guess there's, if you don't have that, it's like Jackie was raised in Long Island. It's like, does she feel the need to like give back to that? Like, there are plenty of people I think who are like, don't have those roots, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then it's like, I don't give a fuck. I almost wish I did, to be honest. I'm so goddamn sick of having a loving family. It's so fucking annoying. Would have just taken all you guys. We're going to live in the Bahamas because I don't have anybody who loves me.
Should we try and do a trip?
Sure.
I've noticed with this group we don't do.
Yeah, we don't.
we can stop spitball.
I know that's how I always feel like that's my fault. I feel like I'm the one. I'm always holding us back from doing those things.
I think after Vermont, I was like, I can't ask again.
I know. I know. Vermont
was
literally would pop into my head like every other week, and I was like, oh, well, but we have a little more time, and then all of a sudden it was like,
wait, so I was
late
down for
February,
Vermont,
like,
but I wanted you to make a. I didn't want to.
I
Invite
brought it
myself.
up like 10 times.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, you
I
did,
was
you
down.
did.
I was
You
like,
did.
you have your weekends booked already, and like you don't have time. Like I didn't want to invite myself. Like I didn't want to.
No, I had hit the threshold where I was like, well, now I'm making them do something they don't want to do.
Oh, what? Wait, the whole time I was like,
you guys could. It's always me because I always am like I have to miss this and miss that, and it's always like stressful for me. But I do want to do these things. So if you guys do them and just it happens, and then I'll go.
damn.
Or I
was so
can't
down.
and like you guys, but I don't. You guys should go do it, and it's like I can't make it, then I can't make it, but don't not do it because I can't do it.
Okay, so where should we go?
Plan it out, Jack.
Okay, well now I have like a whole like
A
party.
happy hour. You're the party planner. Also, Scalabrine is just the man.
What did he do? I saw.
So he did what he always does. He beat up on some fucking Jamoke.
Really?
So George the Messiah is Tommy played against him.
I remember seeing that. Yeah,
He's a
yeah.
fucking asshole. George is like a street ball legend, and as soon as he got like a taste of Instagram fame, he just bullies people. He just fouls them. Like it's not basketball. He just like will push you over and and puts the ball, and he's like, "Fucking New York, man."
I remember
you
seeing
know?
that video, or one video, and being like, well, that doesn't even seem like basketball.
Yeah, every now and then he'll shoot from like outside the cage, like on the street, and banks it in. So that's kind of
I've
cool.
seen one of those.
But he's pretty much just like a bully, and but he's got a lot of Instagram fame recently, and they made a video. George, you think you could beat an NBA player? And he's like, maybe. Why not? I was raised in New York, And then of course he opens his fucking mouth and says Scalabrine, and so Scalabrine made a stitch, and he was like, "Oh, you did it." He's like, "I'm coming to New York," and Scal beat the shit out of him, and he did it like George does. Like it was not even a basketball game; it was a wrestling match. It was a foul fest. They were draped on each other, literally bear hugging each other. Scal's throwing elbows. At one point, George threw the ball out into the street because he was like complaining about fouls. It's like this is your whole jam.
Yeah.
It's just now that there's a guy who's 6'9", 260 doing it back to you. And I think he ended up winning like 11-0.
Really?
And it just resurfaced the scallenge. It resurfaced the I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me.
Dude, he has his speech after the fucking. I don't think it was the NBA Finals as a whole. I think it was one of the games, but when it was like, I think
was he on the Celtics when they went to the finals?
Celtics, yeah.
So he won a ring.
He won it with
Yeah.
they
Big
beat
three.
the Lakers.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Is it tough sitting on the bench for all this?" And Scouts was like, "Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting on the bench now, but like, I'll tell my friends that I got some playing time." And he's like, "And I'll tell my wife that I started, and I'll tell my kids that I hit that Ray Allen three."
It's crazy to say this about any NBA player. The NBA, I think, has how many players on a hockey team?
20 some odd.
Yeah, okay.
Low
So
20s,
the NBA
22.
has the fewest players in any professional sports league.
Yeah.
By a pretty good margin. You have maybe 12 guys on a team. 30 teams, you know what I mean? Like, you're talking a few hundred people on the planet do this. And then even 450. And even less than them have, like, a 10-year career.
Right.
He made $30 million doing it at a time where, now scrubs will have like 1 year, $30 million.
Right.
But he made $30 million. Imagine if, I was saying if I told you this is a lawyer who's made $30 million and you were like, I could beat that guy in court. I've watched plenty of lawyers. I know how to do it. Here's a surgeon who made $30 million. Like, well, I watched, ER, so I can tell you how to do it. Like, you would never do this with any other thing. And somehow you think you're going to be better at basketball than this guy. And I think it really started because I didn't realize he was the lowest rated player in NBA 2K. That's kind of why the joke started. And of course, he's a white ginger. So all these things come together. But he was on a team always. It's not like you probably couldn't even say this about a guy who was like a 1 year flame out, but you certainly can't say it about a guy who had a career, won a ring.
He's like Will Compton of
practiced and worked with,
basketball.
right. But and was like, I played and practiced with Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen and Paul Pierce. Like,
I was one of the 10 guys on the court.
Yeah, yeah, it's just nuts to me. So like the scallenge was great. he should have been doing that. He should have been doing Pros versus Joes the last decade.
Yeah.
He could do that like once a month. I mean, it ripped for me. Like the video absolutely smashed. People love the idea of him. The White Mamba is one of the greatest nicknames of all time. What was his career averages? His last season, obviously, 1 point, 0 assists, but 3 points, 2 assists, and how many minutes a game?
Minutes played averaged 13 a game.
You're getting burned. That one season, 20 minutes a game. You're playing half the game in the NBA. It's
Put up Dana Beer's high school numbers.
that it was just one of the more satisfying things that he actually does it. Because you know what? Everybody else, you have everything to lose and nothing to gain, if you know what I mean.
Right.
But you do have something to gain because he puts them in their place, and everyone goes, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah.
But the God forbid one day one of these guys somehow beats an NBA player. It's that's what Marty's doing. I don't know what else. I just feel bad for Marty. It's part of the Barstool, the way Barstool operates. But if certain other people were returning Djokovic's serve and fucking hitting it through the legs and scoring a point, getting hits off of Trevor Bauer, it would be the talk of the company and the talk of the internet. And the internet's a fickle beast, and for whatever reason, it doesn't get the attention it does.
Well,
but to me, that's fucking awesome.
Djokovic, did a couple million views.
Good. It should. But he should be known as that. That should be, I watch some of these other guys go viral off of one video and their career is made, and Marty just keeps doing it. And I just think it deserves way more of a spotlight and way more shine than it gets.
It is crazy. I remember Hub sent me the video when he was out there. It was such a long video that I couldn't even tell who it was against.
Yeah,
because it was if you watch the video, Hub's is kind of behind him, so he had the camera or had the phone, and when you send a long video, it comes through so blurry and stuff like that. So I watched it and I was very impressed, but I was I didn't even say it. I was holy shit, that's fucking sick.
It's the GOAT.
I knew that they were going to be talking, so I watched it under the assumption it was Djokovic, but it was fucking.
I mean, Djokovic is
going through the legs with Djokovic is nuts.
So cool. I saw some people he didn't go 100%. It's okay, fine.
What are you going to do? I told the guy go 100%.
And also,
I fucking did what he did.
Djokovic at 80%, 90%, fine. Instead of 140, it was 125 miles an hour. What? I don't know. What do you fucking? It's this kind of shit. It's how can you not give this guy props for Trevor Bauer won a Cy Young, and was actively really trying to beat him, and he twice beat him. Give the guy the fucking respect he deserves. But yeah, Scal. I mean, he could have a media career he did. I think he was on a radio show for a while, Sirius and all that.
He's
but
the Celtics broadcaster.
Is he? Okay, yeah. I think he could have a entertainment, a influencer type career on that, outside of just sports. But he's the fucking man, the White Mamba, one of the greatest nicknames of all time.
Kikoff, Kikoff. No matter how fast time seems to be flying by, it is never too late to make progress. If you are saving up for a big purchase like a home or a car and you need to build credit fast, Kikoff can help. They are the #1 credit building app in the App Store, and plans start at just $5 a month. No credit check, no hidden fees, and no interest. If your credit score is under 600, you could jump 28 points in your first month. Kikoff is a smart, legal credit hack with no catch, no credit check, no hidden fees, and no interest. It's simple. You make on-time payments. Credit bureaus see that good behavior, and your credit grows fast. That's how Kikoff works, baby. Building credit can happen faster than you expect with Kikoff. Don't wait. Get your first month for just $1 at getkikoff.com/KFC. That's Kikoff, Kikoff, without the C. Get 80% off at kikoff.com/KFC. Must sign up via getkikoff.com/KFC to activate offer. Offer applies to new customers first month only, subject to approval. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions apply. Points stat based on Equifax Vantage Score 3.0 changes for Kikoff users starting under 600 who made their first on-time payment between January 2021 and March 2024. Payment and credit activity outside Kikoff can have an impact on your credit score. Individual results may vary. When it comes to college basketball and March Mania, one thing is for sure. Nothing is for sure. That is deep from DraftKings. Upsets, buzzer beaters, Cinderella's advancing, top seeds going home early. It's all going to happen, baby. Bet the unexpected every upset, every day with DraftKings Sportsbook. With live betting, exclusive content, promos, parlays, DraftKings is the ultimate college basketball destination for March. Ready to make your first bet? Check out the matchups and pick a team to win. That's how simple gambling is, folks. If it's your first time, here's something special just for you. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That is $5 down. You get $200 in bonus bets. That moment, bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code KFC. That's code KFC for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
What else we got? You got anything?
I had a few things. One I should have brought up earlier because it's a study about hostility towards women, and it's only very attractive men and very ugly men are the only ones who
are hostile towards women
in the study. And I was like, we're right in the sweet spot. Yeah, obviously I think ugly men blame women for their lack of sex and stuff like that. Hot men think they deserve it. I'm just like, hey, if you're not doing anything, I'm not doing anything either. It's like kind of like the perfect thing to be like, no, look at me. I am not a misogynist.
It's not read the study. It's not possible for me to be a misogynist. And honestly, if you call me a misogynist, I'm flattered.
Yeah.
Or
highly insulted.
Not. I don't know, one or the other. I think I know I'm not ugly enough to fall in that department, so I must be really attractive. That is great.
It is funny too, just being like who decides to let's do a study to see who hates women.
Women.
I feel like in Office we should have like a test run where they have to talk to a woman, and if they get rejected by I think that a lot of men who hate women have gotten rejected a lot, and then they take it on a woman. And I think that if you have gotten rejected in the past a lot, you should not be allowed in office, because then you're just gonna subconsciously.
So wait, what happens then?
Your life's just over? I don't know what exact tests I want to run. What?
Yeah, no, I like it. If you get rejected a lot, either you're gonna be a misogynist, which would be bad, or judging for current things, you got no raise. So you're not gonna last here either way.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So just to be clear, if you've been rejected by women a lot romantically, you cannot have a job.
At Barstool Sports.
To be clear, that's what I just said. Did I stutter?
Are you saying here or anywhere?
Hey, no clipping that. No clipping that. Because that actually would
we could change Jackie's fucking internet experience in one clip. You want the rest of your life to fucking suck? You criticized the men once.
No, but
no, seriously, please.
I'm gonna take that out actually, because it's just no.
What was I gonna say? Let me pull this up real quick.
Also, for the record, my shock collar came. Paz and I tested it out.
Oh,
it's way too
strong. I had a feeling that was gonna be.
Oh wait, okay, good. I'm glad we'll stay on you for a second. One of Jackie's last texts in the group chat. Kevin put forth an hypothetical in the group chat.
Oh, this is great.
Where if you could, if everyone on the planet decided to pee into the Grand Canyon, how long would it take to fill?
Simultaneously, yeah.
I think I was the only one. I was like, forever. However much time there is. I've never even been to the Grand Canyon. I just know it's massive.
Yeah.
And then we were discussing how women would have to be in the canyon in order for their pee to be a factor at all.
I think I know where you're going, and I'm happy you're going here.
And then Jackie was just like,
"This is a crazy text. this is a Nikki Smokes text."
Jackie was just like, "Man, how quickly do you guys think it would turn into an orgy, though?"
I was like, "What does Jackie do?"
Everyone's bound to get real horny.
No, because
everybody pissing got me hot and bothered over here.
That's actually
Let's
crazy
all fuck each other.
I didn't clock that there was no response to that, and had I clocked that, I would have been like, I feel so weird.
I might have made the party weird.
I almost wrote back like, "What do you get into?" But I was like, I think that might be too inappropriate.
No, I think that's so fair, because now I'm trying to think of the logistics of everyone peeing in the Grand Canyon at one time. So
what would a girl do? Do you think they would go like this, or do you think they would turn around and squat?
Like
squat at the end.
The squat, you fall. You guys are all.
Well, that's you have to
exactly.
you have to have a harness or something. But if you were to go like that, can you get it out?
Yeah. But
well,
because then you're over the Grand Canyon.
I feel like it goes down, not out, right?
I think that you have to like.
You almost have to dig a trench is what you have to
You
do.
have
on the edge,
yeah,
you
yeah,
pee
get
into
like
that
a
and just let it
funnel.
flow.
You gotta make
yeah.
a fucking
like a
ice
Pee
luge.
funnel, right? Did you invent that? No,
With
no
a
popcorn funnel.
popcorn
You
funnel.
invented.
Yeah.
But they do have those pee funnel things that are. I think
Yeah.
they're gross, but
You could probably like propel down the side and then
just free fall, like free hanging and just pee and then
just
pull
like
you up.
legs against the wall.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Just like
Hang
this.
on, now I'm getting horny.
But then I'm thinking like, all right, you're putting men and women peeing in the same thing. Like there's like I just feel like there's so many creeps that like the creeps would be out to play. No.
Yes, but it was funny that we
like,
were
you
all
got-
talking about
like,
pee, and you were like,
my
let's
point-
fuck.
No. I was saying,
Like Jackie watches this animation, she's like, this is porn.
guys, no, this is not what I'm saying. Wow, that's so insane.
1.2. So by the way, just to give the stats on it, 1.2 quadrillion gallons in the Grand Canyon. If everyone were to pee simultaneously, it would take 800,000 years of piss to fill up the Grand Canyon. Now, what you said was true, that it does read and sound like this is a stat to convey how big the Grand Canyon is.
Yeah.
You could also do the other side though, that this is to convey how many people are on the planet,
yeah.
because
That's what I was
there's a lot of those where it's like you don't even understand how many people 8 billion is. So, but Jackie's answer, Pab said what like
I said 2,000 years.
2,000 years, and Jackie was like,
he said 2 years.
I said 2 years.
Yeah.
it was pretty low, whatever.
okay.
'Cause- yeah. You said it was like 2 years, 20 years. It was
Better than what'd you say? Hours?
Well, so Jackie was like, Pabs.
I said
She
sub 1
said
minute.
she said Pabs. I
1
think that's a really stupid answer. You just gave a really stupid
No, I
answer.
said Pabs. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that was a really dumb answer.
Yeah,
I left
that's what you
space.
said.
I left space for it to not be a dumb answer.
I think you said 2 minutes.
I said sub 1 minute.
Sub 1 minute. And the answer is 800,000 years.
I said millennia.
Yeah, centuries. I don't know what I would have said if I didn't come across it first, because I would have been thinking one way or the other. Like, it depends on if you're thinking about the canyon or how many people there are. But
And then
when
to-
you were like, you are so dumb.
Yeah, that was.
35 seconds.
Then I said,
Dude, just think about
hand
like,
up.
dude,
Hand
one
up, that's
person.
something-
Wait a minute. Let's really break down how fucking stupid that answer is.
We don't have
Like,
to break that.
like one person peeing, like, I couldn't even fill up like a toilet in 35 seconds.
Yeah.
Like,
See, so that's where I over. So then I thought,
I gotta be honest. I gotta take a break.
oh,
gotta
for
pee?
pee. Go get that point, whatever. Okay, because then
yeah,
I was
half
thinking,
a gallon.
Everyone
Apparently,
probably
everyone
pees
pees half a gallon. Half a gallon.
It's half a gallon. And I was thinking in my head a gallon, which was in hindsight crazy. Like that's a lot of urine.
Yeah.
But then so then I was like, okay, 8 billion gallons at once
is a lot.
is like you probably get out that in like 20 seconds. So I was thinking like the Grand Canyon. I just didn't know how big the Grand Canyon was.
Well, that's where it comes down
So
to.
that was-
You
So that was
underestimated.
like
it.
16 billion gallons. Yeah, probably.
Dude,
I didn't realize
1.2
it was 1.2
quadrillion. So that's
Billion gallons.
billion, trillion, quadrillion.
Yeah. So that was a lot more
So
than
that's-
I expected.
Take 999 billion to get to a trillion, and then do 999 trillion to get to 1 quadrillion. Like it's an incomprehensible amount of space.
Yeah, okay, and then also to just like reiterate the orgy part, like my thought process was
that was wild.
but then my thought process was like also like again we're thinking logistics, like we're thinking can everyone even get like access to the Grand Canyon at one point, and then you're thinking of like all the creeps and all the killing that there probably would be and all like the destruction that would probably happen.
So when do we get to the orgy? Because
But just-
you're talking
but just,
about
like-
piss and violence
then
right
I said- 'cause
now.
then-
Jackie's like,
No,
and then
no,
everyone's turned on.
No, then because then I was thinking the creeps would be out of play because everyone's like private, like everyone like dicks
You're-
are out and everything
yeah,
like
I
that.
get
Like,
that. Yeah, if everyone's
Yeah,
dicks
that-
are
If
out,
everyone's
that's
dicks
what's
are
gonna
out,
happen.
like-
Yeah.
It's like everyone just getting naked in a room together, but the pissing into the giant hole
That's
is
what I
a
was
little
saying,
bit of a
but-
mitigator of the romanticism and the
My
and the
point was just
sexiness.
the creeps would be out to play, and then it would turn into an orgy. Just like shit would happen before we even get the chance to pee, to all collectively.
So
like,
I
get
wouldn't
all-
even pee. I'd be getting fucked by all these guys. I mean, she just dug the hole deeper than Grand Canyon. She's like, everyone would be peeing, and then there would be crazy violence, and we'd be murdering each other.
Yeah,
And then the sex starts.
but then I'm saying,
Piss and violence gets
but you're
Jackie
forgetting
going.
everyone's dicks are out, everything's out.
Yeah.
The creeps are out to play. Therefore, ergo,
Listen,
orgy.
I'm giving you a hard time. If I was watching a bunch of chicks piss, I'd be like, I want to fuck these girls. I don't know.
Well,
It would depend on the piss. I'm a If I take a piss, it looks like
Well, that's
I could piss
I've
right
alwa-
back into that bottle.
When I've ever given the thought of water
It's
water
so
sports, like I could take that, but like if some chick was really into this and they were like, let's do this, I'm like, I'll try anything once. But if it was coming out like yellow,
Yeah.
I'd be like, this
Yeah.
is not cool,
And
dude.
you're just kind of like you gotta
Both
have
ways.
more.
If I was giving, receiving, I'd be like,
you
oh.
better be drinking a lot of Pedialyte.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I want you hydrated to the fucking tits.
Yeah, because when people are like, when people are like,
Hydrate
when people are like, squirting is peeing, it's like, no, it's not. Like, I know what you mean, but it's like, it's not like, like it can be. You know what I mean?
I like Babs with the random. Yeah.
Sometimes I forget you guys can hear me.
This is Babs is driving on his way to work. Like, this guy's spitting.
You just happen to be in the room, bro.
First of all, one, I don't think
I
you
can
guys.
say it. So I'm gonna tell Kyle the second I get to the office. Like,
I don't think you guys can hear me or see me, and I'm just over here like you guys can do both.
I think that too because I'm so used to listening to you guys and editing you guys that sometimes like when I'm here I like realize I haven't talked in like 2 minutes ago. My sister and I came up with this hypothetical and I can't tell if it's a really good hypothetical or a not good hypothetical.
by the way, real quick, sorry to interrupt you.
Go.
When I met your sister this weekend, I thought I'd met her before. I went in for the hug first
You did.
time.
You
Okay.
did.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
right.
she hit me with like, nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Because I was thinking about that later. I was like, have I not fucking met
She was
Jackie's
like,
sister?
I heard her say that. I was like, I don't know why you're saying that.
Okay, because I went with the standard good to see you, which is what I say to
No, remember
everybody.
she came in for Survivor and all that shit? Yeah.
Well, but he wasn't there for that. But one of our live shows.
Yeah.
And you had met all those friends too, except for a few. But like you had the right to say hi to everyone.
Okay. Because I got the nice to meet you as I was like half hugged. Like I hadn't touched her yet, but I was already clearly going in for a hug, and I was just like, "Oh no, that's not what you want to hear."
Yeah, I actually heard this, and I meant to like be like, "Why'd you say that?"
I introduced myself to one of your friends, and she's like, "We've met a couple times."
Who?
I don't
Shannon?
know. I forget.
That's tough.
See, that's why I go good to
Yeah.
see it. I go good to see it whether I've met you or not. But
I feel like
I
good to
assumed I
see you
had.
implies.
You don't know.
No, I feel like it implies you think you're seeing me again.
Yeah, but it works if I have it.
It could, yeah. But if I heard that, I'd be like, this guy thinks we've met before. We
Yeah.
haven't.
But
should've-
it's just my blank. I
Hi,
just use it on
how you
everybody. Just good to see you, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or you
now
know what you
I'm-
really should do is just compliment them.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you see them or not. You go, that's a great jacket.
Great rap.
Now that- just
Damn,
go to
I
them,
realized they're letting heavies in there.
shake their hand, and be like,
I go, that's
you were
just his
peeing at the
way
Grand Canyon. Would you start fucking? Would you get in an orgy at the Grand Canyon piss?
Pretend everyone's pissing over this wall right now. We banging?
Talk about an icebreaker, man.
I go, that's my crazy boss.
All right, but wait, what's your sister's hypothetical?
Okay, no. So we were saying, okay, you're in a Five Guys bathroom, right? And it's very specific. It can be a gas station bathroom, but you're in a Five Guys,
So a gross bathroom.
You're in a
bathroom.
Five Guys bathroom, okay? And you see an object, okay? And this object is covered in poison, okay?
Okay.
With you?
What does the object have to be in order for you to touch it? And no, sorry. Take that back. What does the object have to be? So if you're trying to kill all the men in the world,
That's a huge
Oh,
fucking wrinkle you
Yeah,
left
So
out.
what will men touch for
that
them to
woman
die?
won't. And I asked this because one time I was in a Five Guys bathroom and I came across. Oh wait, I actually have it. And I came across.
Wait, I forgot. It kills every man.
Yeah, or woman. So you're
So
trying
you
to
guys
either
have just
kill
been
all
plotting
men.
on how to kill all men without her harming women.
But it goes both ways. So I see this, and I go, "What the fuck is
What
that?"
is that?
Right?
Ping pong balls?
Right?
in a-
I said, "No, I know. I don't know." Like you're not. You can look at it up close. So then I grabbed it, and I
You could give
was
me a
like,
million guesses. I have no idea what that is. In the bathroom? Mm-hmm. Is that like a scent thing? Like a
No, I picked it up, and I was like, "That was crazy of me to touch."
What do you think that
Like,
is?
I don't know what was.
I don't know.
Continue. Is it on the back of the toilet?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it
maybe-
was like on the no, not on the back of the toilet. It was like on like the paper towel thing. Not that it really makes a difference, but just like kind of it does.
Okay. So what would men touch
So
that?
what if you had to kill as many men as possible? What would the object have to be? And if you had to kill as many women as possible, what would the object
Oh,
have to be?
I know the answer. I
Scale?
know the exact answer. There's a correct answer to this question.
What?
The top of the doorway.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, first of all, the problem is you're gonna kill like every 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you're not killing men.
But you're definitely not gonna. If you're trying to get all males, I don't know about ages
you're-
and no women, it's that.
If it was like a play like a champion sign. Above
Yeah. Everybody would hit that. But the doorway is like, I don't think I've ever seen a girl just jump and hit the
But
doorway.
that's tough with a doorway.
older,
because
you're
like a
right.
doorway
Like,
is like
only short
it's
men, though.
open. I don't think I've ever opened the door and hit.
Oh, yeah, it has to be in the bathroom. That's right. I was just thinking of the right thing. In the bathroom? Well, I mean, guys aren't washing their hands.
And it
Yeah.
can't be cash. It can't be cash.
So you,
And it can't be something that you.
we
like,
could just
wanna-
put something in there? Like,
You put something in. So you're trying to kill a woman. So what? My sister said a scale, and I think that's like men
Scale.
aren't really gonna stand on it.
if you're trying to kill the women. Yeah.
If I see a
That's
scale,
how
I'll
I would
stand
say
on it.
scale.
I'm always just like, I don't know, it's just something to do.
Yeah.
Like I don't really care what it
if
says.
if
but
I just had 5 guys, I'm not stepping on. Scale.
That's true.
See, okay, I got a question there. Do you know like what your weight is?
I have,
Like,
I
do you
don't
keep
wanna
your
know that.
weight in like a 10-pound window?
Most people do. I just like. I feel like it just bums me out whenever I do it. So I'm just like. I was just ignorance is
You're
bliss
probably,
on
what,
that.
like $1.60?
I don't. I don't know. Like I don't know. I haven't weighed myself since college because I was just like, this is like, I don't care.
I like never
Not
do
my
it.
business.
I've never like gone out of my way to do it. But if there's a scale in the room, I'm like, I'll check
Do
it
you
out.
guys know? Do you like keep it in?
I'm
I
like
just started
230.
doing that.
I say 230, but it can go 220 to 2 something.
I would hope I'm between like 190 and 200.
I tell them even at the doctor's office. I'm like, don't tell me. I don't want to know. That's like really not my business.
I feel like if Jackie could be like, my tits are like 20 pounds.
yeah, or sometimes
like,
like
pre-reduction, you could be like, I'm 200 pounds, but it's like all tits.
In
Yeah.
your bra.
Yeah, right. Literally that joke.
Or they say like when you're on your period, like you can gain up to like 20 pounds water weight. So I always go, I'm probably about to be on my period. It's probably water.
20 pounds is a lot.
I know. I feel like that's definitely
It's a
not
big
true.
swing.
It's just like
But that is a good one. The
Is it
bathroom is a little bit restrictive, but I always joked like, if you wanted to kill Barstool Sports, just poison pizza and send it here. Everyone would eat pizza,
Yeah.
and we're all dead. We would all end up dead. The investigators would be like, "What the fuck happened here?" They ate poison pizza. So if it's not restricted to the bathroom, you could probably do a few more things that are a little more.
It's a bag of Coke.
it's a bag of Coke.
It's a bag of Coke.
Girls are not touching the bag of Coke.
No, you want them to touch it.
The girls are touching the Coke.
Everyone's
Everyone's
touching.
touching. Oh, but I'm saying if you're trying to kill one or the other.
But girls are not doing. This is why it's so crucial that it's a 5 guys bathroom, because girls, as much as they love Coke, they're not doing 5 guys bathroom loose bag of Coke that they found.
No, but that guys are.
Guys,
So there you go.
You
Okay.
coming out, you're going, look what I found in there.
Okay.
Okay, so loose drugs in the 5 guys bathroom. Probably kill a bunch of guys.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know.
Did you see that? See that Michigan baseball player celebration?
No.
Hit a triple, slid into third, went on the line, the foul line.
Really?
Yep.
You get in a lot of trouble?
I'm sure he
It got
did.
like 10 million views.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's a
that's,
lot of views.
I'm sure
And
if
he
you-
does it. He's like, he just slid into third. He's like, it's awesome.
I believe it was Robbie Fowler on Liverpool.
I think.
I'm sure if you guys have seen this video, this also went viral.
His
but,
last
like,
name's Fowler. That's funny.
I think it was so
Why is that funny?
it's
Because,
the
like, it sounds
picture
like
is
he
so
fell.
funny.
Because I'm not saying like funny, but like
Yeah.
it sounds like he fell. Oh,
That's
I
okay.
think this started trending
this is what he
pretty
did.
recently. Like it came back, and that's where he probably got the inspo
I
from.
see.
Yeah.
That's more or less what he did. Could pull up the Michigan
Yeah.
kid. I mean, he was like, yeah. I would imagine you're in college, like you're gonna get. Can you get fined? You get like suspended in college, right?
It was a different time when Fowler did it. I think it was early 2000s, maybe 90s, but like it was a big deal.
Oh wait, is that guy like Hispanic too? He looks like that'd be funny if he's like Colombian or some shit. You know, I thought it was a white guy.
Mitch Voigt.
Oh, that's weird. So maybe he's white. I don't know. By the way, I started a long form 1 minute man I tried out today. So subscribe to KFC Radio. I'm doing like 4 or 5 1 minute mans per episode. So usually like 2 or 3 of the videos that I did, maybe a little bit longer, and then a couple more news stories. Like I did Scalabrine and Belichick and the St. Patrick's Day roof collapse was awesome.
Yeah.
That was old school Barstool, man. That was like that's a video that would have got sent to us from the source, you know, where we would have had that video.
Right.
You have to go to Barstool to watch that. Now these things go up on social media right away. But that dude just got flattened by that roof. There was one guy just boom. The fact that nobody died in that was that's just proof that like college kids they're invincible.
Dude, dying's impossible. Dying's like the hardest thing in the world.
Except it's not though, because then they'll be like, you know, the Brian Johnson guy who's living like risk averse and all that shit, and he'll die like no problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I also think that this brought the BORGS to light a little bit, because there's a guy drinking blackout rage gallons.
Yeah.
And I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's getting going viral in that like people are like, we gotta stop the BORGS.
You got to see this picture of Boston, because they were taking them all.
They were what?
They were taking all the BORGS, and then there's just a huge like lineup.
Maybe that's what it was. So they were confiscating them.
Yeah, and there's like
And there's just gallons and gallons and gallons.
everywhere, yeah.
It's just jungle juice in a gallon, right? Like it's just mixed. Wow, that looks like a drug raid where they're like showing kilos of coke. Like that one's like fluorescent, dude. That's glowing. We made jungle juice in like a cooler, and then you just drank cups of it. These guys just put it into a gallon. It's just the way the way you deliver it, you know. But then I added a couple more. So if even if you're watching 1 Minute Man on Instagram, there's a couple extra ones. Some dude got 50 million from Starbucks for the hot tea, spilled tea. It's actually a very funny video. He's in the drive-through, and he goes and he just drives off. And they said it like he needed skin grafting, and like his skin was melting.
Yeah.
Would you basically melt your testicles for $50 million?
No.
What about you? No.
No
I
chance.
think I might do it. I think like
How's your dick rash?
I mean I am intensely like clean now. Like
yes.
I what?
I don't know. I didn't really know how to respond to that. Oh, nice.
I always showered, but now I pour like betadine. I'm never going through that again. I'm probably like my skin's probably gonna like fall off because I'm like cleaning it too much now, you know. But yeah, all good.
All good.
Good. I'm
But
very
50
happy to
million. Remember that girl back in the 90s? That was like a big deal when she got 3 million from McDonald's.
Yeah, old woman.
50 is fucking. That's.
But
money,
it's
dude.
also the greatest example of like I don't know if it's scapegoating or like what do you call it? What do they call it? Oppo research on like Oppo attack.
I don't know
Like
what that
she's like when you find ways to attack your opponent.
means. Okay.
Like
Oppo attack is.
it's called Oppo research, but like that's in politics. But like McDonald's basically just made her enemy number one and painted her as a dumb idiot. And of course, coffee's hot and all that stuff. It was like 3 times as hot as coffee should be.
I'm totally on the side of the people on this one. For all these instances, it's too hot. It's too hot.
But it was like that instance in particular. It was like
Hotter
it was.
than average. But even the
it
average
wasn't
is
like a
like-
cup of coffee. It was a cup of fucking lava that spilled on her, and it was boiled to way too hot. It should not have been served to a person. Everyone's like, "Yo, coffee's hot." So
Yeah, it's
no
like,
shit. Like,
but I even think that like when you get you got to put the sleeve on the cup because you can't hold it. Nobody can drink a cup of coffee for like the first 20 minutes.
yeah.
Why? What is that? Like, we're just like, well, they're gonna have to travel with it for a half hour before they drink it, so let's make it. I would legit think that it's probably 200 degrees. I think it's like right under boiling.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Right?
And then it gets
I don't drink it
cold
much.
within
Do you
5
guys?
minutes.
Do you guys get a cup of coffee and just drink it right off the rip?
I don't drink hot coffee.
I drink hot coffee, and yeah, but I kind of like.
I always see people
We'll
like.
just keep drinking it. Yeah, I always do it. I
You're
can
not
just
gonna
power
tongue.
through it.
If I burn my tongue, it'll
Yeah.
stay like you kinda
Like
get
hairy kinda?
hair
Yeah,
for,
it's like
3
strings
days.
like falling off. I mean, imagine that on your ball sack. But 50 million is like I'm not doing it for 3 million, no way. But 50 million, is
Dude, I don't think I have.
bonkers.
There's no number you could give me where like you can have my penis.
Well, no, okay. I mean, he didn't lose his penis.
But like it's melted and weird and like
They did say he needed to do like skin grafts and shit, so
Yeah.
it is bad. But I'm surprised that you wouldn't be like, yeah, just toss it on there and we'll roll the dice and see what happens.
dude, it's not even like
Like if I just,
it's not even
if
that
I was just like,
care
I'm gonna
about
take
my
this
penis
and go right on your lap for 50 million. I would think you would say yes to that.
It's more like what he. The transaction of it is what turns me off to it. If you want my dick, you can just take it. I don't give a fuck. But like, all right, if I dump this on you, I'll give you $50 million, but you get your dick looks like a melted candle.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm
Yeah, it's
out.
almost.
I
It's
mean,
not even like pain. It's like you're gonna have a weird dick for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
That's kind of the problem. But would you take the pain level of that for $50 million?
Yeah.
If I did it to your arm, yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So it's the dick. It's not the pain.
It's
It's the mutilation of your penis.
It's like pain I can
Checks
handle.
out.
I can't
That's
look
what I
at a
would expect
fucking
you to be like,
raggedy
yeah.
dick for the rest of my life.
Right, right. But so let's say your dick returns to normal.
Sure. Yeah.
So
That's a no-brainer,
Yeah.
right? Like,
50
Yeah.
mil is a lot.
Oh my god. Yeah, you could do whatever you want to my dick.
you can do whatever you want to my whole body. If it's a short-term pain and it's not going to have lasting effects, yeah, do whatever the fuck you want.
What if you need to do skin grafts and surgery, but it returns to itself? You're gonna have like a rough 6 months to a year, but you have $50 million and you're back to your normal dick.
Probably not.
50 mil's a lot.
What do you do with $50 million?
Oh my
Whatever you
god.
want, bro.
Okay, so this is another hypothetical.
Uh-huh.
If
50 million, you could do a lot.
you
Well,
could-
no, I'm saying
actually-
you can do a ton, but like
I feel like
I don't
John's
know.
saying I do what I want with $10,000.
I gotta go to work. I gotta go to fucking.
Well, you don't. With $50 million, you don't.
Yeah.
But like, I still want to. So like, my day doesn't change.
I think $50 million is like a perfect amount of money
Yeah, I
to receive.
almost
I
feel
think
like
that's
it's
if I were to ask for
Agreed.
money,
Yeah.
I would say $50 million.
Well,
because-
first of all, it's $25 million. And $25 million.
Well,
once
are you
again-
living in Austin?
Okay, so if you I've asked a version of this question before, but if right now I told you, like we're at what? It's 2:09 p.m. I say tomorrow you have to spend $2 million or else you go to jail for the rest of your life. Are you able to do it? You only have a few hours to plan.
I can do it the one. I think you posed this before, but you have to spend it every day. I could do it once, but I
That's
couldn't-
Yeah.
there's a
No, but
movie
once-
called Brewster's Millions, and I think that's the exact money. They say if you can spend $2 million in a day, you get $10 million.
But so how would you spend it?
There's some loopholes and usually there's a stipulation that you can't have anything to show for it at the end of it. You know, one of the tricks is you buy a very rare stamp and then mail a letter.
But then that's
just cheating.
You got one day checked off. Now
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah,
do
what-
the
what's
rest
your-
of my life.
That was like for the rest of your life. Yeah, that's separate. That's like crazy. There's no point.
I mean, if you can have shit to show for it at the end of the day, you can. Yeah.
but even
Yeah,
like
if I
right
could buy
now,
a house, I'd do a house. But other than that,
but even like right now, like that stamp, like, do you think that you would have access to getting that stamp by the end of tomorrow?
Yeah, probably not.
It's like the research, like even buying a yacht, you have to, or buying an apartment, you have to like get a broker.
You could probably.
You probably
You
do.
know, you can do. I was gonna say fly private's really expensive. You can do that, but even chartering those.
Yeah, you gotta
is
charter
but then you
that.
just have a
That takes
shitty
time.
job where I got to spend. My job is I have to spend $2 million a day, and eventually that's gonna.
I'm
fuck
sure
itself.
there's ways to do this. You know, I just found out there's a bottle of Macallan that's like $50,000.
Yeah,
You know, you can do things like that.
But then you have
All
to
but
buy
that's
food.
like
shit
even
ton
that.
of
Like
this.
if you spend $2 million, that's not even a chunk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, if you went shopping right now, you could. But it's the everyday factor.
It's every day, but like it would be really, really hard to do that in a day. Really, really
Yeah.
fucking hard.
I just think there's some high end shit that I don't think it is actually. If you're trying to do it, I think you could go to an art gallery and find something that's $2 million in one.
But I think
in one
if you
purchase.
have
but then
to-
you have to show for it.
I don't know why my head.
Well,
went
that's
here.
why. If the stipulation is you have nothing to show for it, then I guess.
Yeah,
really
you
hard.
can't. That's
But that's
it's
not
impossible.
yours. Is just you just keep spending it, right?
Well, mine was just literally one day. But the thing is, that,
You could probably go to a New York City art gallery and spend $2 million on one thing.
This hypothetical is like the perfect example of like mo money, mo problems, where it's like, well, yeah, and then I have to spend it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go shopping for rare art and fucking
Yeah.
looking. I don't want to do that every day for my life.
Yeah.
Like,
you have to
You know what
constantly
you
be
could do?
talking
You
to-
could.
What'd you say?
Oh
yeah.
Send my man an autograph.
Oh, you haven't said that.
Yep.
What were you gonna say?
There's definitely prostitutes out there that are like $1 million. So you
Yeah.
can have sex twice.
I don't think there are definitely $1 million
There's-
prostitutes.
Guaranteed
I think you
there's
could
prostitutes
proposition
out there that-
someone.
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
could maybe go up to a woman and be like, "I'll give you
Yeah.
$1 million to have sex," but
Yeah.
I don't think there's any prostitutes out there who are regularly charging $1 million.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
No.
I
I
bet you
think
there
there
are.
definitely
I bet
are,
you
like-
there's some high. I think there's a
different countries.
whole world of high end shit that we don't even know
Yeah.
about.
$1 million.
I bet
to
you
fuck,
there are
and that's
some-
their every day. They're like, it's $1 million.
But yeah, but there's because there's the billionaires in different countries.
I
that
bet you
come
there's,
in,
like,
it's
some
that's
sultans.
Like $100 for them, and they're like every day.
Yeah, you
we
go to
want
like
$1
the
million.
fucking Dubai.
But
world,
they would
like-
just kill you.
Yeah.
Like if they were
But
offended by
maybe
your
they
offer,
have
they would.
ownership of. I don't say ownership of one of the prostitutes, so it's really like a ring where the guy's like, yeah, she costs $1 million.
But guess what? Now I own her.
Yeah.
Like,
They gotta own you over there anyway.
yeah, they might be buying them for $1 million one time, but you're not paying $1 million a night to fuck somebody.
But
if you are, maybe like if you became a sultan and you'd never had sex, maybe you're willing to go to $1 million for virginity. If you've had sex before, you're like, there's no one's gonna be worth $1 million.
Yeah. If Skip Bayless was offering that chick 1.5,
Yeah.
she was just a hairdresser, bro. Anything's possible.
Yeah, and I feel like I think it would be possible.
So what, you're gonna be a prostitute, charge $1 million?
I literally wish. But
Girls say that shit, but it's like, all right, you can't do it for $1 million, but you could go out right now and probably make bank to have sex. You're just not gonna do it. Pussy.
yeah,
You won't even sell feet pics.
I know.
Fucking
That is
loser.
a
we
of me. Yeah, what?
we were doing
I don't know what I'm saying.
It was a draw.
we were doing some shooting the other day. And
Oh yeah, how do we not talk about this yet?
well, I'm only going to talk about one thing, which you weren't even involved in.
Okay.
But it was we've been.
We're not gonna talk about what you texted me.
No.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Why? What?
Well, we can't talk about it.
I don't like it when you guys text without last night.
But so we've been in Times Square a lot and like shooting. It's actually very fun. We're like, we've only done like one shoot in Times Square, but like the community has welcomed us pretty open arms. Like we're friends with the cops now. They all like
Even the other mascots?
I wouldn't say
I would view them as like you're
No,
creeping
I
on
don't
a
think they're
territory.
liking them.
Yeah.
No, but I wouldn't say they're yelling at us in Spanish, but it doesn't
Yeah.
sound super angry. It sounds more
They're
like
curious.
It's more
Yeah.
like busting our balls. It
Yeah.
seems like
You
like
guys are gonna get murdered by some Mexicans.
like
Sure.
Tommy was walking around with his head off, and they were like, "Elmo, la cabeza, la cabeza."
Oh,
So we were shooting there on Friday, and we had seen like there's one little corner of like there was this big King Kong, and there was a big Transformer, and there was Batman, and then there was this raggedy clown, and I kind of just gave him a what's up. We talked briefly, and that was it. But then at the end of the day, I bumped back into that clown in the subway. And I was talking to him and his boys who are
Just you guys coming home from work.
and I was just chatting him up, and we were like, I was like, so what's the deal with the clown guy? And I learned he did not speak English. He's Israeli, and he was explaining to me that it's purem. He kind of sounded a little French. And I was like, what's purem? And him and a couple of his buddies were trying to explain to me that it's a what's the brain? Archimedes Empire, 1500 years ago in 500 BC, put forth an order to kill all Jews on the planet, kill all of them, and it's celebrating like.
I was gonna say Purim is like a Jewish holiday, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they're like it's celebrating like we're all still around.
Got it.
We're still here. And I was like,
this like really keeps happening.
why does everyone hate Jewish people? I didn't even know
I'll
there
tell
was
you-
a
listen.
separate Holocaust 500 years before Christ came.
Yeah,
I was
like,
like,
you guys
what
have-
are you guys doing, everybody?
At some point, you gotta look in the mirror. At some point, there's a common denominator here.
I was like, you tell me
here.
there's a different Holocaust I never even heard about, where they fucking ordered to kill all of you? He's like, yes. I was like, why? He's like, I don't know.
That's crazy. They God have better PR on the Holocaust.
The guy's like, look, I like busting your balls. I like teasing the Jews as much as the next guy, but I don't want to kill everyone. What did you do? And he just kept going, nothing. We did nothing.
I'm gonna call Ari real quick. I want to see if Ari has some insight on the second Holocaust.
That's so
He would
crazy.
be
Which is
the type,
technically the first one.
right. He would be the type to be like, yeah, listen, we gotta stop pissing people off. We're doing something wrong here. I mean, that is.
But I do have one more thing I want to say. Soccer has too many championships. It is an like following Liverpool this year. Liverpool has been at times potential for the quad, which is because they have so many different leagues running at one time.
Premier League, Europa,
You win Premier,
UEFA.
you win FA, Caribou, and
That is too many.
And fucking your Champions League. And I guess it's kind of a sense where like you like. So what I'm getting at is Liverpool's going to win the Premier League, which is the one that matters. But because they've lost the other 3, it doesn't feel as fun anymore. Which I guess it kind of works in that way for like lesser franchises, if you will. Like if obviously Boston, we had 20 years where we were like the only thing that mattered is championships. But I guess in some leagues or some areas, like if you win your division, that's a big deal. Or if you win your conference, that's a big deal. And like
just making the playoffs is a big win for certain teams.
Right. But like for Liverpool in particular, like I don't care about the Premier League anymore. Now it's like, oh man, this is kind of a loser of a season.
Right,
like,
because
we lost 3 other championships.
3 things. Yeah, it's like it doesn't do enough to offset the 3 losses.
Right. Like so it's like, all right, we're gonna win the Premier League.
What you need is one. You can have all those other things, but then you need like a World Cup level to erase. All
when you have like 4 of like. They're all escalating importance.
We're similar ballpark, right?
But like I think again I'm obviously not a diehard soccer fan, so you'd have to ask a real fan. But like I think the Premier League matters the most.
Yeah, I would say
at least to me it does. Yeah. Because we've won the Champions League before, we've won the Premier League before. I cared about the Premier League more. I don't know what I'm supposed to care about more, but what mattered to me more was Premier League. So now it's like we're gonna win the Premier League, and like I kind of just don't care because. I was like, we're gonna win the quad, and it's just like, oh, this is kind of disappointing now. Like we won the champion. It's like we won the championship, but we lost the divisional round and the conference championship, and it's like so. There's no way to obviously do it in our setup,
right?
But it's just like, oh, we're winning the one that matters the most, but like because we lost the other 3, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah, I feel that.
I feel like it's kind of like the way that everyone keeps rebooting. Like old TV shows, it is like everyone's like we don't need more, but they're like, well, we don't. It makes us money, so we actually don't.
Yeah.
Dude,
they're not giving up on any of those things.
You almost just said that people say a lot, and it infuriates me.
Sorry.
No. You didn't say it. You didn't say it. When people say nobody asked for this about a show.
Oh yeah.
No one asked for any of the greatest shows of all.
Somebody just comes up with it.
Who was asking for this? I don't know. Fucking
who was asking for a teacher to get diagnosed with cancer and turn to drugs to fund his family? Like,
right.
Nobody was asking for that. It's the greatest fucking show of all time. Yeah. Everything is just.
Who asked for this? Nobody. It's fucking not.
As a matter of fact, I would argue that when you make the things that people are asking for, it's usually shitty content.
Yeah.
It's like you should make what the brilliant creators think is a good idea, not what the people are asking for. People are asking for it. Yeah, that's how you get to like season 59 of like Big Brother.
Yeah,
like,
who's asking for it? It's how you get the Big Mac.
Yeah,
like it's good, but it's not.
It's
no
not
one's like
gourmet. Yeah, that's a good call. All right, we got Frankie Borelli for the Thursday episode, and then we'll get back into it with our voicemails. Make sure you hit the line though, and leave us some submissions, and we'll get you guys back on the air.
Jack pocket, Jack pocket, Jack pocket. Oh, Jack pocket, 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 Jack pocket. That was the song for our new ad read. It is called Jack Pocket. It is not a new ad read. We've done it many times. It is the app to get official state lottery tickets, and it has never been easier to do that thing thanks to Jack Pocket, America's #1 lottery app. Whether you want to do scratchies, whether you want to do Powerball, Mega Millions, pick 3, pick 4, doesn't matter. They've got it. The Jack Pocket lottery app is great because you can order tickets whenever you want right on your smartphone. Let me pull that bad boy up real quick and see where we're at today. I don't believe anyone's hit. I haven't heard it if they have. So yeah, Powerball 398 million. Mega Millions, 301 million. We are in the $300 million range for the Jack Pocket app. New customers get your first ticket free with code KFC. Those incredibly high numbers I just gave out, $300 million, you get a chance to win that for free. That's code KFC for your first lottery ticket on Jack Pocket. Download the app today. Hey, KFC radio listeners, it is early March, and you know what that means. It means my nights involve the couch, college hoops, and Evan Williams bourbon. As you know, Evan Williams bourbon is game day's #1 pour. After a long day at the office, there is no better way to unwind than flipping on a big rivalry game and pouring yourself a glass on the rocks, or straight, or in a mixie. However you want to do it, my boy Evan Williams can do that. It is smooth, rich, and always easy to enjoy. Again, whether you prefer a post-game pour or a pre-game pour or a post-win nightcap, the best game day moments can be paired with Evan Williams. Make Evan Williams part of your game day. Trust us, you won't be disappointed. Visit evanwilliams.com to find a bottle near you. Evan Williams, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Bardstown, Kentucky, 43 to 45% alcohol.
Great.
All right, we got Nick Murphy on the show, rocking the WrestleMania gear, huh?
Yes. Yeah, I was there last year. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Where was WrestleMania last year?
Philly.
Philly?
The Eagle Stadium.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Dude, I had like a very brief fandom of wrestling as a kid.
Yeah.
That my brother and I took way too seriously. My mom had to be like, it's banned in the house. Like, we were like breaking furniture and all kinds of shit. But I liked it then, and then I just didn't really think about it for 20 years or whatever. And then I went to SummerSlam in Vegas.
Yeah.
It was like the coolest experience.
Life-changing.
So awesome.
Genuinely.
And
life-
I'm
banning
really
in the
thinking about
house.
getting back into it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Banning in the house just make you go on the roof. You know, like you're only going to just keep doing your boys. You're going to find a way to do the rock bottom.
I
with
once
somebody.
tombstoned myself. I remember.
Yeah, see,
my
that's
buddy,
the one. How do you do that to yourself?
Well, my buddy wanted to do it. Like he was like, and I'll do like the tombstone, and I was like, I gotta like test that out.
Can we
like,
start
sort of
with
thing.
something else? We're going straight to the
Bro,
tombstone?
and I'm telling you, I think I like fucked myself up for
Yes.
life. I jumped and just put my head into the mattress.
Nope.
And like I felt my neck crunch.
Not
and,
good.
And I was okay, but I definitely was like, oh, like something went wrong there.
made a
and that never
noise.
been the same since. Yeah. And I was like, I just tombstoned myself like a fucking idiot
Yes.
to like prepare for our match. You know?
Oh, that's great. They show me you're insane. You know, oh, this guy can take anything.
Dude, I used to jump off our. I had a radiator in my bedroom, old house. I had like an old radiator,
Yeah.
and that was like the top rope. And I mean, my bed was destroyed. Boom! It was on the ground. The mattress was sunken in. We would bounce off the fucking floor.
That means you're a fan.
It was the Attitude Era was my jam.
Undertaker's my guy, and he made an appearance on this one. It was very brief because
Yeah.
he's like 60 now.
Was
But
that the one where he came out and popped up behind Cody Rhodes?
yeah, he chokeslammed the Rock.
It chokes in the rock. Yeah.
That's the loudest building I've ever been in.
Yeah, I bet.
When the bell went off, they hadn't even put the lights out yet.
That is the entrances of wrestling are unmatched. You
Because
know?
everyone's like, oh, everyone thought it was gonna be Stone Cold. They were ready for
Yeah.
the glass to break. There were whispers in the crowd, because
Yeah.
they all know the script,
Right,
so they're trying to predict
which is gonna be
But then that bell went off, dude.
What do you
That's,
think?
man.
There's the bell, Undertaker's bell, Stone Cold's glass, The Rock's If You Smell.
Cena's was huge too. When
Yeah.
Cena came out, when that
Yeah.
music dropped, and he sprinted out.
I feel like it's the music's one thing, but you got to have that like if I
Iconic
I would
sound
have
effect.
a car crash or like that was Mick Foley or something that's like the noise before
Your
the
noise
music
would be
is
when
in.
you got Tombstone.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin! It's Kevin! You're limping out.
I was such like there was like another phase of my life where I was like, I don't even get why people like this. Like it's so clearly fake.
That's how it starts.
And then you like started to again. I'm not pretending I'm like super in the world, but like you hear about the storylines and you're kind of like, oh, that is fucking cool.
cool.
And like, yeah, it's fake. But when I went to SummerSlam and we it was at a time when like Erica was the CEO of Barstool and
Yeah.
she was on the board of WWE, so we had some kind of deal going. So we had like floor seats. Like it was I was sitting next to like Bill Simmons and Colin Coward and like
Amazing.
Wale and like we had these great seats because
Yeah.
of that. And I could I was like, oh, they're hitting each other. They're fighting.
dude.
Like, it's not
Totally.
fake. Like they were like it was.
You can hear the slaps.
It was.
from the
I was
back.
here. The wrestling was right there. I was like, I can hear it. Like, they're
Did
hitting
you
each
see
other.
what Travis
for sure.
Scott did to Cody Rhodes? I don't know if this was true now, but I saw a tweet that said he broke his fucking orbital bone.
Who's?
Travis Scott.
When Travis
broke
Scott
Cody
punched
Rhodes.
Cena.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah,
Cody
yeah.
Rhodes?
Yeah.
No, I
Wait,
didn't know that.
you like afterwards, like he's all bloody and Travis Scott's like the final thing was like Travis Scott's getting that the fact that Travis Scott was just in there the whole
Yeah,
time
yeah.
for like one of the most iconic moments. He's just sitting there like smoking a blunt or whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
But he's he picks his head up and he's supposed to just like, and I mean, fucking whacks him.
Yeah.
And it said that he like broke a orbital bone and like had a concussion or something, which is very funny because it's like. I'm sure he can take it, but it's like,
And that's not
bro,
the worst thing
you're
that's happened to
nuts.
somebody at a Travis Scott show. So, that's,
Hey, at least you didn't die, bro. Let me
The Rock got crowd crushed.
watch this.
we had no idea. And I'm sorry, this is recent or this is
This is when
this like just happened?
This is when Cena turned heel and he just fucking
Okay, great. I knew Cena turned heel.
And
See,
then
this is my thing. I'm not locked in. Like, if I'm there, I'm fully locked in.
Yeah.
But when I'm not, I do other shit. But that's
It is
great.
a time commitment.
So they must have not, or they did coach him, but he got the adrenaline and just went too hard. Yeah, that happens all the time.
Big time.
Undertaker's had both orbitals like replaced, like surgically reconstructed.
Really?
Yeah.
The SummerSlam again, my only point of reference, so it's what I'll keep referring to. But the Sheamus either kicked someone in the head or got kicked in the head.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the most painful thing I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Like, it was a full-on fucking kick that I heard the skull echo, and I was
Yeah.
like, holy, I can't believe I had the audacity to think this was fake when I was 17.
Dude, when Mick Foley used to have his big matches, like, his family would be there, and they're like, are sobbing.
This could be the night.
Yeah, and people are like, it's fake. Like, look at this little girl crying her eyes out.
Mick
It's
Foley's
not
so
fake.
taken for granted.
Yeah.
Jumping 50 feet just on
Fat, like,
nuts
out
and
of shape.
bolts
He's
and
like, actually,
tacks.
yeah.
You know?
Oh my god,
This
That's
could be
awesome.
Yeah.
Say bye to daddy.
Yeah. He's backstage with a hammer. Like, I got a new idea tonight. I want to try. Like, Mick, come on.
It's like we
man.
don't have to do that, man. Just stick to the chairs. The chairs are enough.
we were in an awesome section too. My buddy, shout out to Carl, he took a wrestling class with Cody Rhodes. He knows Cody.
No way.
I don't know why Cody teaches one. I think it's fantastic at the level he's at. It'd be like John Mulaney teaching a comedy class or something. But he does, and my buddy won their little costume competition or something. So we got 2 tickets, family and friends section, 50 yards from the. Like, you know, you think we'd be in the nosebleeds.
Yeah,
We're watching the guys. I got video. It was
That's
fantastic.
sick.
Well,
To be
that was last
close.
year.
In Philly
yeah.
at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
that's
It was
fucking
amazing.
awesome.
You ever seen Cody Rhodes' wife?
No.
Yes, she came out and
She is
lifted the belt with him.
unbelievably gorgeous. Yeah, she is like
Dude,
I would hope so.
next level.
You know?
Yeah.
I like the clip of I saw a clip recently of Cody Rhodes on Two Bears, and they're just like busting his balls for the neck tattoo. They're like, not a lot of people can be famous with a neck tattoo, which I actually disagree with. I think a neck tattoo, there's no middle class.
You're either
A lot
scumbag
of not famous people with neck tattoos
or
work
you're
at Exxon.
a rock star.
Yeah, or you're like fucking Ronaldinho. Like it's middle class doesn't get neck tattoos. The other two do.
Right.
But they're making fun of him, and he was like, yeah, it was a bad one, which I thought was really cool.
He might have gone rags to riches. Maybe he skipped the middle class.
No, he said it's a fairly recent.
Oh,
tattoo.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't count.
He's like, yeah, the guy put it on, and I was like, that's too big. And then he started tattooing it, and I was like, well, it's too late now.
Yeah, it's already too late.
I just can't stand the like. At a time, I probably like the early '90s. There was probably an argument of like it's not real, and there were people running around saying it was real.
Who was the guy that went
Like-
on? He was on like a show with Bill Maher, and they were trying to argue with him. He stood up and took his pants off. Somebody will know out there, but he was ready to fight whoever it was that was saying it was fake. It was a bit. You're right. It was a big deal back then.
Yeah, but to me, it's just like no one's arguing that it's real.
Of course.
They just argue that it's fun.
Right,
Like,
right.
Going to
you
the
know,
movies.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like he didn't really. That explosion didn't really happen. He didn't
Right.
really kill that person in the movie. It's like
Yeah, but I'm
nobody does
believing
that.
it.
Right.
I'm allowing myself to be wrapped up in a story.
And
Yeah.
if you would just do that, you'll have the best time.
the best. That's the thing.
It's
Just
the
get
best.
over that. It's so
You get
awesome.
so sucked in. You
Yeah.
can't not get sucked in to.
And like the mic work is like funny and impressive. It's
Of
all
course.
like you know.
Of course.
And
Although
then-
there was one time I had so much fun at SummerSlam, like literally like the next week or 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Raw was in New York at
Okay.
Brooklyn, and I went again. Had the same type seats.
by the way, Raw is at the Garden Monday. I think I'm gonna go.
Oh, I
that's
think I already
awesome.
have tickets.
Yeah.
Right, Greer will always send texts, and I always just say I'm in.
I think I'm gonna go. So if you guys want to,
think we got Raw tickets. I'm not positive.
You just say yes. You end up. Why are we at Hamilton? What the fuck is this?
I'm a yes, yeah. I'm like, you want to go? Like, fuck yeah, I'll go.
Yeah,
Let's check
yeah,
that out. Although last time, okay, I keep talking about it. The more I talk about it, I've been to a lot of wrestling. Last year we went to Raw because Greer bought tickets, and this is when it happened. Not that other time. We were in the 400s.
Okay.
I was like, Greer, what are we doing up here, man?
He's like, you said yes, you're in. I told you.
I was like, yeah, I thought we were gonna get normal fucking human tickets. Like, why?
human tickets.
That means you're getting too high on yourself, Heidelberg. That's not good. I'm not one of these plebes back here.
I was like,
man.
this ticket couldn't have cost more than $20. Why are we up here?
Yeah.
But at one point, because we were so high, I went and I was like, I could get a snack or something like that. And I waited in line at the concession stand for like, it was the slowest moving line of all time.
Yeah.
Just like insanely slow. I've been to a lot of games where a lot of beers are being drank. And as I got to the front of the line, I realized it was because they were making so many sodas because everyone was special needs.
Oh, no.
So it was taking so long because you got to wait for the foam to go down and all that stuff. And I was
Those
like,
are the people you were just talking about. Why am I sitting with these fucking? I mean, I'm not gonna say it, but you know.
dude, there was one guy sitting behind us who was like, he was autistic or he was something.
They do love wrestling.
And he,
And Shane has talked about this ad nauseum. It's fantastic. Yeah.
he screamed the entire, but like commentated, like believed it was all very real,
Yes.
and like it was full on play by play. Like, are you kidding me? He's got the table, and like it was one of those things where like at first you're kind of like, all right, this guy's got to shut up, and then like after a half hour you're like, he's got the fucking table, you're like screaming with him.
You're right in it with him.
Yeah.
And people won't know the difference if they're watching on the live feed. They're like, Heidelberg, all right. I didn't know he was on
It
the
is
spectrum.
the ultimate. If you just let yourself have fun, it will be the best.
They're
You have to get over
superheroes to
that.
these guys. This is what the beauty of it being in Philly, because they talk shit to each other too. The Philly guys, just the fans.
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
Philadelphia, so they can't let each other have a nice moment. They still got to be dirtbags. I went to the bathroom in between, when the ladies are wrestling or whatever, and the line is insane. So we're just waiting, and this guy's having like a mental breakdown because he's so excited to see Roman Reigns. Because he's never seen him live before. He's almost crying to his buddy, but he's being very loud because he's hammered. There's 50 guys in the bathroom. I just don't know. I don't know, man, what I'm going to do. I've never seen him. And this is Philly out of one of the stalls. You can't see him. It's closed. You just hear, Roman fucking sucks. And then the toilet flushes. It was so funny. Just talking shit to this guy,
Roman fucking sucks. I saw Roman Reigns in Vegas once. It was a Super Bowl. Were you with
I'm not
me?
a Roman Reigns guy.
He's never been my favorite, but you have to respect the longevity.
Totally.
He's
I always thought he
the-
was very like the fact that he had like a title reign and a run and the popularity on the same level as like The Rock and Stone Cold.
Hulk Hogan. I think he broke his record or was
those
close
are,
to it.
Really?
They have amazing characters, skills, all that. It's like Roman Reigns is just like a wrestler.
The spear. That's his thing.
Yeah.
I wish he had a cool like finisher.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
maybe he
finisher
does,
is-
and I don't know. So I apologize if you do.
No,
but
yeah.
let's see it sometime, Roman. The Undertaker's got like 3 finishers.
Yeah.
What's he have? Tombstone?
Tombstone,
Last ride.
the last
Last
ride,
ride.
and the choke
Choke slam, I don't know if
Chokeslam,
it's a
of course.
finisher, but it's like his
But it's like
iconic
signature.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm with you on that. His intro was so sick, though.
Roman Reigns?
It's like the tribal.
Yeah.
They had this whole choir and orchestra with him. It was fucking sick.
The walkout, that one's long. The tribal.
Very long. Well, he's the defending champ, so he gets like the longest. But
Who's
it's
the
like
other one? Not Roman. The other guy who's like the tribal chief.
the bloodline. I
there's-
can't
there's a
name
whole
them
bunch
all
of, like,
because I'm not
some-
as
Is Roman
savvy.
Reigns? There's Roman Reigns and there's another guy with long black hair.
There's like 3 of them.
Seth Rollins. That's who.
Oh, Seth
Yeah.
Rollins.
Seth Rollins. Yeah.
Yeah. He's
I-
not one
I
of the
mix
Samoan
those two up
guys.
too, which is kind of like
And then
that's the
now,
problem.
now that we're getting
No
to
one's
the
ever
bottom
like,
of
is
it,
it The Rock or Stone Cold?
yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
I was never.
Seth Rollins has some of the most outlandish outfits. He goes crazy. He looks
Really?
like Deontay Wilder coming out. He's got all the stuff on.
He looks like any NBA guy in the tunnel.
Yeah, exactly. Like pregame. Just Mike Breen
On
talking in the
the
background.
JetBlue walkway.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love the way John Cena's face like literally changed. Have you seen these? Like the
That's
memes that are
the
going around?
meme that's going around. Yeah.
Like came out as a baby face. Like he's smiling, his eyes, his mouth, like, and then he turns heel and his face transformed.
Really?
I was like, I don't want to give him too much credit here, but like I know he's been acting, and I was like, you picked something up at acting school.
this guy's been
'cause
taking classes.
You look like a bad guy. His eyes like turned down, his mouth turned down. It like looked dark. I was
Yeah.
like,
That reminds me of
Transformation.
a GIF I saw, and it's a popular GIF. It's not, I didn't just see it, but it's of Christopher Reeves transforming from Clark Kent to Superman.
to not being able to walk. Yeah. It's like, well, that guy's good.
Yeehaw!
Yeah.
But it's nothing incredible. We're like, how do you even get the idea to do that?
Sometimes less is more.
But you
The
see how like
subtlety in
it
the
matters
face.
so much.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's just him with bad posture into him having posture and taking off his glasses.
Yeah.
But you're like, oh shit, that's a completely fucking different person.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You guys watch Severance?
Yeah.
Now you're talking,
Dude.
You got to be 2 different people. Yeah.
This
Those
season,
are good actors.
Or not this season. This last episode.
Yeah.
I actually almost tweeted it last night out of complete blue.
Yeah.
But I was just like, thank God Adam Scott doesn't actually look like that.
Sure.
Like in this, because are you caught up?
Yeah, I believe so.
So
yes.
yeah, but, like when they're
'Cause the new one
showing,
hasn't
like-
come out. It's Friday, right? Yeah.
When they're showing like younger him meeting his wife,
Right.
meeting Jem and all that, and I was
Right.
like, oh, he looks normal. Thank fucking God.
Uh-huh.
I thought he was like melting.
Yeah.
Like his face looked like a wax.
when he's like sweating on the couch.
like
you
he's just
mean?
all white. Like
Yeah.
every time like he's doing the Severance look, I'm like, damn, Adam Scott didn't age great.
Right.
And then in those the throwbacks or the flashbacks, I was like, oh, okay, he's acting.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
makes a lot more better. Oh yeah.
Like the scene. It's crazy.
Is that the Cena?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it's like different humans. Yeah. I mean that like it's like he's acting. I get it.
Yeah.
Those are actors, but yeah, that shit is. If you let yourself have fun, it is the best.
Yeah, the first one I ever went to was Kurt Angle versus Sting. It was like 2008 or something. It's still on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they brought out Kevin Nash and Sting. I didn't know any of these guys, and by the end, I'm a full-blown fan.
That was
Yeah.
the thing. I
Sting
remember
had to beat both of them. They were
everybody
cheating.
watched when they were like a kid.
Yeah.
And then I had a buddy in like middle school who was still into it, and he was like my best friend. But I was like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
And he like was on one night. And I was like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like, when's the next one? He's like, Thursday night SmackDown. I was like, okay, maybe I'll watch
get
that.
the
And
itch.
then next thing you know, I'm buying pay-per-views. And
Next thing you know, I'm tombstoning myself in the living room.
yeah, for real,
Yeah.
for real.
Never sucked my own dick again after that.
Or maybe I did.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
I
What
have
if that's how you
flexibility.
discovered you could? Because I tombstoned myself. How'd you do that? I had a match with The Undertaker. It's a long story.
So what are you doing in town? Or I guess more how long you're in town for? 'Cause
So
from
I
out-
leave tomorrow.
You live in Atlanta, right?
Yes.
That and you're born and raised
Atlanta.
there.
Born and raised. Decatur.
Decatur.
East Atlanta.
You ever been to Noonan, Georgia?
I thought you were
I
a
have
Philly
been to
guy
New
the way you were talking in Philly and it up. I just thought,
No, that's just where the place was.
yeah. I was just there one time.
If The Rock would come to Atlanta, then we would have a different shirt, you know. But he doesn't respond to my texts. Not anymore.
Decatur, Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah,
What is the comedy scene like in Atlanta?
fantastic.
Really?
I think it's one of the best places in the country to start. We have all the rooms, very diverse, every kind of demographic. And, it is what it is. As far as exposure-wise, you can make stuff happen. With the internet, it's been so huge, social media.
Yeah.
Like I'm here talking to you guys right now, you
Right.
know. But some of that was because, like, Sass, shout out to Harry, came through Atlanta, and I just happened to open for him. We hit it off, and
No shit.
I've opened for him like 2-3 times now.
I think Atlanta is kind of underrated in general. Like a lot of the movie studios move there, right? The rap
Yeah.
scene obviously got
They do all the
big,
Marvel
comedy.
movies. Rap scene is massive.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's that last one? Rap scene?
The rap scene.
Oh.
Rap is a genre of music.
It's hip hop. It's rhythm
What's
and
rap scene?
poetry.
What do you guys say?
Yeah. I'll introduce you to our most famous comedian, T.I. I don't know if you've heard of this guy. It's hilarious.
It's called the Dirty South.
Yeah.
That's the
Outcast.
whitest thing. What's rap scene?
Dude, even
Yeah,
your
yeah.
face, you went like,
Yeah.
yikes.
Yeah.
We should have just gone with, it's a movie. You haven't heard of rap scene?
Yeah, rap scene. It's 2 white guys reading for a scene to do rap.
Honest to God, so me and Nick met because he did a drop-in show in DC, and
Shout
I
out
was
to
there.
Francis, dude. Big time play from him. I really appreciated that.
And you had done a show, or you had a joke about mentioning you were from Atlanta.
Yeah.
And since I heard that, I've just been thinking, damn, it must feel cool to just crush in a black room.
Well, that's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best. You mean a rap scene? Is it cool to crush in a rap scene?
Dude, it's like we always say, like getting a compliment from a black guy is always like, yeah, your outfit's on point, your shoes.
Yeah,
are on
there's a
point.
bunch
and then
of,
them laughing at your joke. That's like the ultimate. You know what I mean?
Of
That's
course.
like you made it.
Yeah, the thing the way that goes is like a black crowd may take a little bit longer to get on your side,
Yeah.
But once they're there, it's your family.
They got a
Also-
healthy skepticism of white people.
Yeah,
That's understandable.
You know, very understandable. We call it a rap scene. I mean, we don't even understand what's going on.
But you know what I love about them is when they are like, even you can have. We've had a couple crowds for our live podcasts where I'll be like, oh, that did not go well, and then afterwards they're like, that was amazing, and I'm
Sure.
like, oh, word, because you weren't showing it,
Yeah.
But if you're entertaining a black room, it's loud, it's raucous,
Is that why
they're
you said
getting
word
up.
back to them? Is that why you did that?
But it's like, they give it, the energy is there.
Energy's way better. Yeah,
Yeah.
white crowd very very much more fickle. They can go but also lose you really quickly.
Yeah.
But I guess it just depends. But yes, killing in a black room is a fantastic feeling.
What do you think? Let's rank the races. What would be the best races to kill, or best
To kill?
Which races do we kill? The Asians.
I don't know. I feel like a gay crowd could be great, but also you could be like, all right, enough, relax.
I'm not going home with you guys. Right, guys?
I mean, if you look at it's probably just best to kill with the white people, just business-wise speaking. Probably just best to have them on your side.
Yeah, Jeff Foxworthy agrees.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just get in with a stupid catchphrase with the whites, and you're good to go. But I think from a feeling proud of your material point of view, black people.
Yeah.
It's also like if you're big with the chicks, it's like that's good for business, but I don't know. Girls think you're funny. Who cares? Guys got to think you're funny.
Yeah, it's I don't know if I have a favorite. I mean, it's just, again, we have very diverse. Like, you'll get some half and half, some this, some that. Yes, there are black rooms, there's white rooms, there's hipster rooms, there's Latino rooms, but some rooms you just get everything. And it's just like, okay, I'm universally doing well here.
Yeah.
And so that's the best part of Atlanta.
That's a good way to start, because then wherever I go from here.
For sure. Yeah. But I mean, Cat Williams talked about this too on one of the podcasts where he's like, I was being funny for white people. Can I be funny for black people? Like, you do have those thoughts. And so you're like, all right, well, let me make sure that I'm not sort of painting myself into a corner here, demographic speaking. So Atlanta's a great place for that. You have all the rooms. You can get really good if you want to get good. I mean, sometimes you can just do certain rooms, certain places here. And sometimes, you got business. You got to do a show, money, this, that, because some of them are mics, free shows that you don't always have time to get to.
Right.
But starting out, I mean, I feel like that's how I got better. I mean, I'm not saying I'm Chappelle or anything, but I got way better, I know, because of the diversity of the rooms in Atlanta.
I also feel like you're at a point now. Comedy's gotten so popular.
Yeah.
I would imagine that any major city is going to have just business entrepreneurs who are like, let's open comedy clubs.
Yes.
I'm sure at one point it was like New York and LA, maybe Chicago, whatever. And those were the rooms. It's like, there's just going to be comedy clubs, or not even clubs, but just like open mics and traveling shows in all these cities now, because everyone listens to podcasts, everyone watches these specials.
Yeah.
So it's almost similar to sports, where it used to be like, you got to be in a major market. It's like, you can be a fucking Hall of Famer in Milwaukee now.
Yes.
And I think the same thing about comedy, where, there are some more prestigious rooms, but I would imagine at this point you can go anywhere.
Yeah, we just got a new club, the Helium. That's where I just did with Harry, which was fantastic. I mean,
That
just
was
the
what you
fact
did
that
last
we did
weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
You go
the fact
fishing
that
with
we
him?
even had did we what?
You go fishing with him?
No, because I had other stuff during the day, but I know he loves to do that. He went
Sass
with Mook.
fishes?
Oh, Sass
time.
is like, it's like all he does.
I would not.
time.
I would not expect that.
Yeah,
he's a
Sass
big-
gets
he's a
his
fly
waders
fisher.
out and goes fly fishes.
Yes.
What the?
He said he got some really good bites, but he didn't reel anything in. But
Was that a
happens.
Connecticut thing, like where he's from, or he picked that up?
No,
later
he's
in
from
life?
Mass. He's from Duxbury, I think.
I thought. Well, New England. Is it a New England thing?
I don't think so. I've never known. I've been
Yeah.
a time or two, but
It's
I've
like
never.
cold. I think you do like warm.
It's definitely
weather.
a white thing.
yeah.
That's for sure.
The fishing scene? Is that what you guys
What's
have?
fishing scene?
Yeah. This is Harry Settle and Tip T.I. Harris. Bass fishing. Yeah.
Is T.I. still doing the comedy?
I believe he is.
Is he doing it like in Atlanta a lot, or is he everywhere now?
I don't know the answer to that. It was
He
such a
kinda-
fun
he-
saga when he was doing it.
I know, but you know what he did? He started out, I think, okay, but didn't he have like a viral? Didn't he have a viral thing where he was like, I think he kind of lost it a little
Called
bit.
a woman a bitch.
Yeah, that's what it
It's
was.
a friend of mine.
Was it? Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't care about calling a woman a bitch, but it was just like she
Well,
was
he got
rightfully
called out.
criticizing him for sucking, right? And she
He
was like,
got called
I'm
out.
famous, you're a bitch. I was like, oh, well, now
It's a
you-
very, I don't know if we have time for everything, but it was a very long saga. We switched venues, basically. I was doing one show and then ran over to the other show. T.I. did the exact opposite, so we basically flip-flopped. But the show I ended up doing was called Star Bar in Atlanta. It's a Monday night show, fantastic, run by this guy Rodney. Everybody knows him. They put your name on the chalkboard if you're closing. So I have a picture of T.I. with my name behind him in the chalkboard, which I will be framing at some point. But we basically flip-flopped. He wanted to go up late. The show is basically over. This is my understanding. Now, I haven't sat down with Cliff. I'd love to sit down with you and hash out, get your side. And he just went up late and did too much time, and it wasn't going well. And so then, you want to say something funny if somebody's not doing well. She's hosting the show. says something funny about him. He doesn't like it. They start going back and forth. At some point, yeah, he calls her a bitch, and then it didn't pop off until the next day. I mean, the footage started to go that night because people get their phones out.
Right.
But it didn't go crazy until he went on Instagram Live and said, show me a video of me calling you a bitch. I'll give you $1 million.
That's what it was. And it was like, here you go.
Buddy, she works at the bar.
Yeah.
I've been in the room, the camera room. It's like 15 TVs
Not
back
to
there.
mention all of the audience and everything. Like, I mean,
Yes.
like,
It's
this is not
lasered in.
1985.
It's him. Bitch.
Yeah.
She puts it on Instagram. Now the Breakfast Club's talking about it.
Yeah.
That's how fast it was. It was like a 24-hour thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Or maybe 48.
And
but
I'm gonna ask a question.
Go ahead, yeah.
I know the answer to.
He's a rapper.
He made good on this.
absolutely not. No. Of course not. No. He might have thrown her a little something. They went out to dinner. He took her out to dinner, and they were on Instagram Live, which was crazy.
That's a good way to be like, all right, give me like $100K.
Yeah.
I know you're not gonna get me. I know you were being facetious, but
Right.
like, I don't know, buy me a car. Like, let's see what I can get out of this.
Her name is Lauren Knight, so I can get the plug on there for her. That's who that went down with. But so the next week we all
but
come back.
But they're cool now.
I don't
Or
know
was
the
she
answer
like-
to that. I don't know if they still talk.
Yeah.
I have no idea, and I don't want to get in the middle of that. I'm just reporting the facts of what happened. And so then the next week he came back, and now it's standing room only because the story's gone viral. This is like basically an open mic. I mean, it's a fun open mic, but like it was a standing
It's
room
good for
only
business
thing.
for everybody in that moment.
Of course.
Yeah.
And so, but it kind of just turned into like a roast kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And the first guy went up and kind of ate it. And you could feel the crowd being like, this is what we came out here for? And Lauren, she goes, your next comedian is white. And I thought it was one of my buddies who was definitely going to go up. And then she said he also looks very creepy. And I was like, oh, that's me. And so I went up and just made fun of kind of both of them for like 10 minutes. You talk about killing for a black audience. That was one of the best shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I talked to T.I. for like 5 minutes.
Really?
And like, I don't know. He was justifying what he said. I don't want to get into what was said, but, I think these sort of bygones were bygones, I guess.
I mean, everybody
But
would
it was
hope in the comedy scene has thick skin.
It was a fascinating saga to see all that go down. Yeah.
The problem is, are we good with that? The problem is, you have to have thick skin in comedy. I saw a clip recently of Bobby Kelly talking about like, hey, I think his point was that now he's older and he has kids and he's gone soft and like he's just has more emotions. And he was like, you can't have that in comedy. He was like, there were times I was on the road and like Patrice would like make fun of me until I was basically crying. But I wouldn't cry. I would hold it in. Like,
Well,
'cause
of
you can't have that ego either. You can't be like, I'm T.I. It's like, no, you're not. You're fucking.
Well, and those are some of the best comics today are Patrice's friends. I mean, Bill
Right.
Burr,
Right.
It's like, because you had to deal with that fucking guy, And
Dude,
shout out to
I
Patrice. I
mean,
he's one of the best of all time.
Yeah,
you
and I know everyone like loves him, but it's like I think he was also very mean to his friends.
Of course.
Like,
I've heard stories.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of endearing now that he's not here to do it anymore.
Yeah.
But if he continued to do that to me for another 20 years, I
Right.
would probably be like, I don't like you anymore, bro.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
But that was the era back then. That was the attitude era.
Yeah.
Of stand-ups. I mean,
Right.
Bill Burr has said it on a podcast. I think that it's like the new people. They'll say shit behind each other's backs.
Yeah,
Not to
now
each
he's
other's
just-
faces.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's do you think that like people max out with the number of comics they follow or watch? Because I feel like we
Like
kind of
audience members.
Yeah,
It's possible.
Like the way I always kind of compared comedy and sports, but like sports just has this never-ending, up and coming rookie of the year, next MVP, and then you fade out. Comedy, you make it on the scene, you're gonna do it till you're like 65, so you never really leave.
Yeah.
And part of me feels like there was like kind of this like little crop that hit at the right time with the internet coming together and following kind of in Rogan's steps, and there's like 6 to 10 maybe that really made it, and I keep part of what we're doing here is always trying to find the next one. But I don't know if there is like I don't know if there's an amount of time that needs to go by or something needs to change. But I almost feel like it's like I maxed out on the number of podcasts I can listen to, the number of specials I can watch, the amount of money I can spend on tickets.
Sure.
So if you're still going to see Gillis and Schultz and are you giving the next guy who's just as funny as them on the come up a shot? You know what I mean?
It's that's a fair point. Yeah, it depends, I guess.
To become mega, like everyone's always gonna be successful, but to become that next
exactly right.
superstar.
How much room is there at the table?
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I just try to keep doing what I do and see if it. I mean, I get compared to Shane sometimes in comments because we kind of like.
You do have the same like
a similar
cadence
sounding voice, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I've been doing stand up 10 years. I was this way before he blew up.
Yeah.
So
You also just look like him. Like you just have like big white guy vibe.
For
Not
sure.
vibe, like it's just
For
what
sure.
you are.
Yeah.
Big
I've-
whites.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's I don't know. I guess I don't really know how to answer that. I mean, I take whatever
Yeah,
tickets
I mean, there
can
is
get.
really no answer, but it's like.
But that's a fair
you know,
point
you
to
need
make.
some of
is
these guys
like-
to die.
I mean, because I've heard
Just go
some of the
kill
other
Shane.
some other comics say that where it's like I think it was Jesselnick was saying like Shane's fans just want to see Shane.
Yeah.
They don't want to see anybody else.
Right. Whereas, like, again, with sports, it's like you like the game and whoever's good at the game. And so it's a little bit different. Where
But there is also like the part that
music,
like,
too.
the big, I think the biggest names in comedy are all at the peak of what the age is for entertainment. Like everyone's like 40-ish, right? Like mid 30s to mid 40s.
Yeah.
Between who I think are the biggest names are Bargatze, Mulaney, Shane, Schultz. I don't know, there's more, but like that's, and then in 10 years they'll have aged out and there will be 10.
Yeah, like
new
I do
ones.
think of it as everyone was
Not
in,
aged
in
again,
this one.
aged out of as in like the massive celebrity
Mega,
of
yeah.
like.
Yeah, like if those guys, if Bargatze keeps making $100 million a year for
Right.
I mean, he's probably got a good 10 to go, right?
I would think so. I mean, like,
So is Nate Bargatze gonna be a
If
billionaire?
he wants to, yeah.
Like, he
could go to,
probably could legit become a
Seinfeld
billionaire.
level.
Which is fucking crazy to think of because
Right.
at some point you probably do slow down, but not anytime soon, and you
But
figure
also-
you get bigger and
the like, it's what I always do with money. Like, an $80 million year is probably like a $20 million year.
right when you
Right.
reinvested all
taxes and
paying out
and
your
all-
agent, all
everyone
that
you're
shit.
paying, like,
Right.
it's I'm not saying it's not a shitload of money. Of course,
Right,
it
Yeah,
is.
Nate.
But like,
Not impressed.
I just think it's weird that we like assume like that's how much. Like, well, it's not that much money he got. That's how much money the tour
revenue
made.
earned. Yeah, it's just so crazy to me to think that everybody does put in their dues, and it is a long grind. But I think everybody kind of always has a year where they probably start at a club and finish at an arena almost,
Sure.
you know what I mean?
Sure.
Where it was a slow burn, but same thing with Shabuzi had a picture of him in the same year he was at a bar and then at the Super Bowl or whatever with Beyonce at the playoff.
That's another rapper, Feidelberg. I don't know if you know who that is. You've seen a
I know
picture of
him. He's big in the white community. He's got you do an old rap song.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, he really
But,
did just
that's-
remix everybody
Tipsy.
in the club.
Tipsy,
right?
Jaquan.
I don't think he got a dime on that. I think Jaquan got everything.
Isn't that crazy?
Jaquan, who recently bailed on an interview with us.
That's right.
Oh no.
Yeah, well,
just
not even. He was acting like someone from the rap scene. He was 2 hours late.
Okay.
It was
I believe we were told he's playing slots and doesn't want to stop.
he just
Yeah.
there was no reason other than I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
And I won't be there anytime soon. And we were like, listen, I like Tipsy as much as the next guy. I'm not about to rearrange my entire schedule for Jake Long in 2024.
Yeah.
I forget. We were in the studio. It was in Vegas because we were there for the Super Bowl. We were in the studio in our chairs, and we just got a text Jaquan is on the floor of the casino,
Yeah.
and he doesn't want to leave. And we're like, well, okay, well, we'll just.
Oh, he's in the same building.
Yeah, just
He
downstairs.
just didn't want to come do the podcast.
Correct.
That's
Correct.
kind of hilarious.
Oh yeah, I was almost
be-
dude, talk your shit, Jaquan. What
It's
is
the
what is
slots.
Jay Z
I
running
forget
around
what
doing?
it might have been craps. It wasn't like he's at the poker table. It was a tertiary.
I wonder how he came out. If he was, actually hot.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
just
I mean,
like,
I can also understand if it's listen, I'm up, fucking $100,000 on this table right now. I'm not going to your podcast.
I need you guys to bring the mics down here. I'm not
We
leaving this
should've done
table.
that. That would've been
This
great.
is my table.
We are live from the craps table with Jaquan. Everybody getting tipsy.
Everybody in the club's getting money right now. You need to come down here.
Bill Burr, new special out on Hulu. It's hilarious. It is great. I have watched this. It is called Drop Dead Years. It came out on March 14th. It is very, very, very funny. It is very classic Burr. It is great. If we're being honest here, and I'm doing an ad read for you. I didn't love Burr at Red Rocks. I thought it was okay, not his best work. I think Drop Dead is great. It's provocative. Bill, you can get his provocative, unfiltered, honest point of view on everything from marriage and parenthood to dating advice and dropping dead, which is an age that Bill is at now. He could drop dead. With his signature raw wit and sharp commentary, Bill fearlessly pushes boundaries as he navigates the nonsense and weighs in on mental health, social media, and societal norms. In his first Hulu stand-up comedy special, no topic is off limits with Bill's refreshingly candid take on the chaotic landscape of our world today. Like I said, I really, really enjoyed it. I think Bill seems good, which is nice to see in someone you like. He seems healthy. He seems happy. But he's still funny as fucking ever. So go check it out right now on Hulu. Bill Burr, Drop Dead. Running a small business means you're wearing a lot of hats. Your personal phone becomes your business phone, and before you know it, you are juggling customer calls day and night. As your team grows, it becomes impossible to manage with your personal number. That's where OpenPhone comes in. OpenPhone's the #1 business phone system. They'll have you separate your personal life from your growing business for just $15 a month. Just a few cups of coffee. You get complete transparency and visibility into everything happening with your business phone number. OpenPhone works through an app on your phone or computer and integrates with HubSpot and hundreds of other systems. They use AI-powered call transcripts and summaries, so you'll have a summary on your phone call with action items as soon as you hang up. And if you miss a call, automated messages are sent directly to your customer, meaning you will never miss an opportunity to engage with them. Right now, OpenPhone is offering 20% off your first 6 months when you go to openphone.com/KFC. That's OPENPHONE.com/KFC for 20% off 6 months. Openphone.com/KFC. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over free of charge.
It's that pop though. It can be, even if. And no matter how hard you worked or how much you deserve it or grinded, I feel like there's always a moment of like hyperdrive where you're like,
yeah, and comedy is a subjective thing. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's just like everybody has their taste. My thing is like, can you name the 12th man on the Detroit Pistons right now?
Yeah.
Is he going to quit basketball because he's
right.
not LeBron James?
Well, there's definitely the Patriots and Tom Brady did it to sports, and I'm sure it's throughout all of entertainment. It's like, there's a middle ground, guys. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to just be the best.
For me, this is the best job on the planet, so I'm going to keep doing it until the wheels come off.
Right.
And if it means, just following the path of Shane or Schultz or whoever it is, it's like, well, that is what it is.
And also, it's a world where those guys are great, for sure.
They're
but there
fantastic.
are also some people who are probably more successful than their comedy is funny, and then vice versa. Some people whose comedy is funnier than their success is.
Sure.
And
them's
the breaks,
That's what we signed up for.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm funnier than you, but you're making more money than me, but we're all doing all right, so like, let's just keep going,
Right. I mean, I started this with, you make no money when you start out. I think that helps my mentality because there are some people that, whether they blow up on social media or whatever, and they expect to do these like theaters out of the gate or even clubs, and it's like, that's not how
you got to start in like a
you
barbershop,
build your
bro.
mentality, because you're just going to get mad when it's like half full or something. Where I'm not going to say for who, but I did an important audition last night and it was a third full. Room was dead.
Yeah.
It's like, but I'm like, I'm ready. Let's do this. This is how I came up.
I remember we were talking to Kevin Hart once about that, where he was saying like, he's like I would. Oh no, it was no, I forget who it was.
John, all black people are the same John.
It was Donnell Rawlings. I almost like I was like I'm not even gonna do the confused two black people thing.
It's
Like,
Obama or somebody. I can't remember who it was. Funny guy.
Oh man. But it was, and he's like, look, I'll open for Dave and I'll give everything I have for 14,000 people.
Yeah.
He's like, and then I'll go do a show in fucking Brooklyn at 2 a.m.
That's what
for like
always
50 people,
So
and I'll
Brian
fucking
shows-
give
when you're
everything
in
I have for
that, when you're
shit.
in that space of like, I'm used, because I'm impressed by the people who can do it. Like, I'm used to doing 50, and now I got to do 15,000.
Yes.
But they go up there and they kill anyway. And it's like, wow, you really are prepared for like anything.
I've been on shows with Donnell. I haven't been on one with 15,000 people, but the ones in a smaller room with 100 people or less, he brings the same energy.
Yeah.
And he's outstanding.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows that, but
You really
He's a
have to
comic,
do it
you
for
know?
the love of the game.
Yes, that's
Anything.
why I got into
even
it.
with like blogging and the shit we do, like there are people who are just trying to be successful.
yeah.
And it's like that It's not why you do it.
I can tell the difference. You know, when you
Yeah.
go play pickup and you can tell who's good right away.
Yeah.
Once you hand them the ball and then they start doing weird shit with it, and you're like, all right, that guy fucking, all right.
Yeah.
I think Goldman said that, about as soon as he sees somebody take the mic out of the stand, he knows if they can ball or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they're just comfortable on stage
Right.
and like the way they
Right.
operate.
He also
Yeah.
said he can tell what kind of upbringing you had as a child by your free throws.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He's
great.
like, I'm a great free throw shooter.
Yeah.
My dad and mom fought a lot.
Underhanded.
He can really hoop, right? He's good.
Yeah.
So can who is it? Rick Glassman can hoop, right?
Yes.
I've seen people say that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you could probably put together a starting five of comics. So I think can.
You're
Oh,
you
for
a
sure.
basketball player, right?
I played a little college ball.
Oh, so you're one of them, man.
D3,
Yeah.
but it still
Yeah,
counts.
too.
Yeah.
He was saying we had a tournament the other day at Barstool.
Ron told me, was it
Yeah.
to one?
1-on-1 to
I
one.
love that.
Yeah.
And
It was really fun.
And it's the perfect, like, if you lose, it's okay because it's either a lucky
Yeah.
shot or whatever. But if you're playing for real, he was saying the worst spot to be is like a D3 guy because it's like you played college, so everyone expects you to win. But it's like, I'm not that good. I could still lose.
To
But if you
one?
do,
Yeah.
you're the college guy who lost, and you know.
You
I
beat
have like
LeBron
9
to
career
one.
careers.
Yeah.
If you get ball first.
I have like
and-
9 career college points, and like every time I miss a shot, it's like you stink, dude. You play college basketball.
Where'd you play? What was the
SUNY Brockport.
Am I allowed to talk to this guy? Okay. I didn't know
We
if
do
we're
allow him
supposed
to talk.
I don't know. If
We let him out of the cage.
I've been at SUNY
Okay.
Brockport, upstate New York.
What's it called?
SUNY Brockport.
SUNY Brockport.
Where'd you play?
Birmingham Southern, which no longer exists. They just folded. They just ran out of money.
Really?
Yeah. So
Is that
shout out to
that's in Alabama?
Birmingham. Yeah.
What was the one? Mississippi? We found out there was like 8 colleges total in Mississippi.
Oh yeah.
There's like
We have-
a shockingly low number of higher education institutions in Mississippi.
We have a guy from Mississippi who works here, and he got mad at the idea that people from Mississippi are dumb. And he was like, "We got Ole Miss, we got Mississippi State, we got Southern Miss."
just runs out.
and he really started to tail off, and then he tailed off so quickly that I was like, "Hang on, how many colleges are in Mississippi?" So I looked it up,
Yeah.
and the numbers vary, but it's between 8 and 20 for most in
few.
the entire state.
Oh, great.
And there
Which-
was there was like 40
It was
in like
40.
a couple blocks in Boston.
Yeah. Of course. They're doing what they can. But,
But
well,
dude, it
Birmingham
was-
is now -1. because they
Knock
folded.
it down, yeah.
Yeah.
It was scary how out of shape we are. Like,
Oh, man,
because even
I'm-
playing to
I'm-
one, like,
Yeah.
there was a couple missed shots. So you're really talking about 5 to 6 half-court possessions.
Yeah.
Which is also embarrassing that it took like 3 or 4
that
shots
sounds
each
like
to
a
make
lot.
one. Yeah. But you know,
It's
you
almost
shoot,
as
you shoot
many
a jumper.
colleges in Mississippi, right? That's the same number.
It was a very low number of like check up, jumper, game over. Like
Yeah.
there was always a couple possessions, which I actually thought was a testament to how bad we are, but it also made it a little more interesting.
It makes
was
it more
like-
entertaining.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But like that twitch muscle burst energy type of movement, when that's gone, that's gone.
I'm surprised nobody got hurt because you
Well,
do.
I made sure. I said who's going to Tom Segura themselves today.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah,
exactly.
and I made sure. I shuffled my feet a little on defense. I was not about to like
I don't play defense.
do it.
Not anymore.
So we played with a bunch of the producers as well.
Yeah.
And well, I guess we should.
Yeah.
But the producers were just way better in shape than the content people.
Sure.
And it was like, you don't realize too that it's like you can't shoot when you're tired. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, yeah, I'm not playing good defense and I can't run up and down the court. But also like I can't do anything because if you don't have your legs, then you're all out of whack. And
Yeah.
if you're out of whack, your shot's not, so it's like you think, oh, I can still shoot the basketball. Not when you're fucking tired.
Do you think the producers had like a locker room meeting? before the-
They might have,
it's
bro.
our turn in front of the camera, boys.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
For real.
I was saying
Our
that it
moment
was
to rise up.
it was such a shockingly bad display of basketball that we were at a public court. We were at like a Lifetime Fitness, and it had glass,
Yeah.
like so people can watch basketball.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, there were 40 of us out here. There's 5 to 7 cameras probably, and we haven't drawn even the slightest of crowds. Like you would think at least like some looky-loos are like, oh, what's happening out here? There's a bunch of
are they
cameras.
filming a movie?
bunch
Are
of
they
people.
playing? Yeah.
No one stood by for more than half a second. Everyone just walked by.
Yeah,
like,
because it takes you 6 possessions to score 1 point. This isn't high
You know what
level
was funny
hoops.
too? Like in one of my matchups, I tried to cross over, like spun, and he like stuck with me, and I was like, "That's it."
That is my
I
entire
got nothing else in my
package.
bag.
Yeah.
You know, like not that I ever had one really to
You
begin
just
with, but
stop.
I
You're
used
like,
to.
all right, check ball, you guys.
Yeah.
You don't even try to
I
shoot.
said to him at one point, I said, "Dude, stop playing defense."
Yeah.
He just stuck with me. Didn't leave his feet for the pump fake. I
Oh,
was
that's
just like,
hilarious.
"I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm out. Here you go."
Yeah.
The stop playing defense.
No, I would let him shoot, and if you make it, I'm out.
Yeah.
If you miss it,
there was
you will be
yeah,
out.
there was definitely a point where I was like, I want to win this. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But if you beat me right now, I'm happy. Like,
See, but that's where you get hurt because that competitive thing, and you could probably attest to this too. You've played, high level ball. It doesn't leave.
think.
The competitiveness doesn't leave.
Yes.
So somebody starts trying too hard, especially in pickup. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, this fucking
Bro, you
guy.
think you're 18 still? It's
Yes,
like
and so you try to make a move.
I used to dive on the floor for loose balls. I used to take charges. I used to crash the boards. Like, I ain't doing any of that.
You're the
I'm at the
perfect
point now
guy
where
for
I know.
pickup.
Yeah.
Seriously.
But I used to, what little I would have played 15 years ago,
Yeah.
I would still really try. And then I was like, it is not worth like a 6 to 8 week recovery from surgery because I tore something.
Well,
like,
that's the thing.
I
That's all that
learned
goes
to
through
hold
my
myself.
head now.
Yeah.
I was talking to another
You'll
friend
fuck
of
up your
mine.
money. You'll fuck up your life.
Of
like,
course.
it's bad.
He's like 40 maybe, and we were talking basketball. This is a couple of years ago. At the time, I was like 28, and he asked me how old I was, and I told him. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's when I tore my first Achilles."
Yeah, like, you're
Thanks
about that
for putting
age.
that in my head.
Yeah.
You know?
I think, was it you told me? Somebody told me that, like, statistically, basketball is, like, the number one way that, like, men get injured.
That wasn't me, but what doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like,
that's great.
I watched a teacher like tear his ACL the other day.
Yeah.
See,
And
those
it's
are the-
like- and
those
then
are
what?
the
Now
worst.
it's like you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, that's one. If you like work construction or do something where you like need to be on your feet and like working,
Yeah.
it's like now you need to like file for like workman's comp because you were dicking around
But
on the
that's
court.
the worst. Now you got to go back to class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In front of your students.
You got a boot on.
How's
or
that
some
crossover,
shit.
Mr. Jones?
Yeah.
Stop, dude.
Dude, I was thinking about it the other day where I was thinking if I were to not gravely, but severely injure myself, I'd have to move.
Yeah.
Because I
can't
don't.
go up and down the stairs.
There's no.
There's
stair-
walk-ups here,
My
yeah.
stairs are. I don't have an apartment in my
Yeah,
building.
like you don't realize your life can be.
I would have to. I like either literally move or move into an apartment. Oh, I'm sorry, a hotel for like until I could start
When
walking again.
Yeah.
When I've had a whole bunch of injuries and surgeries over the years, and like I had a pretty much like permanently dislocated shoulder,
Jeez.
and I had a pinched nerve in my back, and I got surgeries before we had kids because I was like, I gotta fix this before I have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like if you're like injured or hobbling around and picking up babies
no,
and
you
shit, like
can't
you
have
can't
that.
do it.
Right.
It's like I got to get this done for this next stage of my life.
Yeah.
And if you had like toddlers running around and shit, and all of a sudden you're just like, I can't get up, I can't walk. Like that means your wife's doing all the work, and then you two are fighting. Like you might lose everything. You tear an ACL, like you're getting divorced.
That
6
is a
months later.
funny premise, though. You're basically rehabbing to be able to impregnate your wife. The doctor's teaching you how to walk again and do hips. You know, we're doing hips today. I'm very excited.
I mean, it was for Tom. It was a nightmare for him, but probably like a blessing in disguise. If you look at him now, he's like in such great shape. Like
Well,
turned his whole life around.
Yeah, it looks great.
I'm sure if you said to him, actually, I really don't know. He's in such good shape. It's an interesting question. Like, I'm sure it was hell for him, but it's like, if you could go back,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have got injured and you would have stayed your same lifestyle versus now.
Yeah.
He might take the new lifestyle.
He's like, I would have broken the other arm.
Yeah.
He looks so good. People think he's sick. I've seen
That's
like
the goal.
comments where people think he has cancer or something.
It's like, no, I'm just
It's
not
like,
fat anymore,
No,
bro.
he's just.
I
his shit
shaved my
together.
head and I got in
Yeah.
shape. Yeah. Yeah, that is but it's very funny to like the body goes, but the mind still thinks
No,
like
the competitive thing, like
Yeah.
it's eased off a little bit for me. Like we were out playing darts the other night, me and some other comedy buddies. I'm like, I don't care if I win this. I'm
Yeah.
not 16. I'm not trying to impress some girl here.
Right.
You know? But again, it can restart on you, that reptilian
Real quick.
brain.
I'm the same way until it's close. Like when we
Sure.
start playing,
Sure.
I'm like, I don't care. Like let's just have fun, guys.
Yeah.
And then if it's close, halfway through,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Zero
all right,
in.
all right.
Well, that
now-
sucks for you if you're only playing to one. That's always close.
But even that one, once because the kid I was playing was really good.
Yeah.
And once he missed a shot.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Oh, the door's open.
I was like, doors open. I was like, lock in.
It
Like, here we
turns
go.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then next thing you know, you blow an Achilles.
Well, dude, because I wasn't a basketball player, I was a hockey player,
Okay.
and I remember like probably like my mid to late 20s, we had like a pickup thing here. And like what I was good at when I was good was I was a very good stick handler. Okay. And I was like, I remember I was trying to stick handle and I just couldn't do it. And I was like, literally, like it really all like settled for me where I was like, oh, this is like,
I'm done.
This is how like getting old works. Like
use it,
my
you lose
brain,
it.
I know how to do this. My hands just cannot do it anymore.
Yeah.
Like that's really
Sucks.
weird.
My thing was a time thing. My first day, so I didn't finish at Birmingham Southern because at a certain point, like it was a very small college. It was like 2,000 or less than that, maybe 1,500. So at a certain point, I felt like I was doing high school twice, kind of. And I knew I'm not going to play professionally. You know, I was good. I was a good shooter, but, you know, you kind of know where the ceiling is with yourself. So I transferred to UGA, where I'm from. Georgia, not Atlanta, but had some friends that were there already. But I remember my first day after class, I'm like, what the hell do I do right now? Normally I would go lift weights or I would go to practice. So it's kind of a weird, like, and I don't know if that ever happened to you as a former athlete, where you just don't know what to do with your time necessarily.
Well, I didn't get to college, so like I was
well,
just
whatever.
School,
I mean,
like,
even high school practice or whatever. Like, there's no more practice.
Yeah.
What do I do now?
This is when I knew I was not really a competitor. It's like my favorite day of the year was like the final day of the season.
Really?
Oh, that's
no more practice.
That's an easy
like,
transition for
let's
you.
go play fucking video games and chill. Like this was, I'm talking like high school and like early on. I was like, let's go ride bikes and drink and shit.
There was like probably like I like you could probably make the argument that I've still like never gotten the same because I liked it so much and I was like I don't know what to do anymore.
And,
you
and
find
it only
other
gets
things,
amplified
but like,
when you're playing that. Talk about the pros. When that's over, I mean, what the hell do you do now?
Especially when it's like,
sad.
yo, old man, put him out to pasture. He's 36, and then it's like I have 40 more years to go, but people have basically told me my life is over.
There's a video I always reference of Steve Francis. Remember him from the Rockets? Fantastic player. And it might have been out of context, but there's a video of him in a nightclub somewhere. He's old. He's overweight. He's got double bottles of God knows what. And he just looks like he's staring to nowhere. And there's people all around him, but he just seems alone. Yeah. And he just doesn't know what to do. He just dumps them both on his face. And you're like, man, this guy misses the lead.
Yeah.
I would assume. I mean, that's the read I got from the video.
I had a buddy once. We were at Foxwoods, and he was like, "Dude, that's Antoine Walker."
Antoine Walker.
And
he was
we're
in
from
the Broke
Massachusetts.
documentary. Yeah.
And we were like, I was like, "Oh shit, that's fucking Antoine. I love Twan."
Yeah.
And my buddy bought him a shot, and he did the shot, and then like almost as if other people had demanded it as recompense for buying him a shot.
Yeah.
He just started doing the Walker wiggle.
Yeah, yeah.
And we were like,
I know
"Oh
you
no,
want to."
you don't have to do. Like, you don't have to dance for your supper, dude. Like,
I know where you
This isn't
came here.
Cameo. We're not going to give you $300 for this.
like, did you think like no? We're just like we like Antoine Walker. Like, hey, let's get him a shot.
That's all he knows how to do when that many white people approach him.
Just like
Keep them away.
sad
Shake.
dance.
Yeah, you want me to do the thing? All right, I'll do the thing.
I know what these guys want.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
no, just-
That is a funny thought of Antoine Walker being on Cameo, just shimmying 45 times a day. Next.
Yeah.
Next. It's like
Well, he
signing an
needs the
autograph.
money, I think,
Yeah.
from the Broke documentary.
Yeah.
Kept opening up bubblegum shops with his buddies. You know? You need 10 million? All right, no problem. Yeah, we can do that.
the Hawks actually just signed. Where did he end his career?
He went around, I think.
He was bouncing around for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was, dude. I was the biggest Twan guy in the world.
Oh, I'm sure he was huge. Wait, because are you a Boston guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I
so-
don't know if we established that, but yeah, that makes sense.
he was even like him and Paul Pierce were the same draft, I believe. And I didn't dislike Paul Pierce, but he wasn't Antoine
wasn't
Walker.
Yeah, Paul Pierce is people just don't. He's
Played
not
for
a
the
likable
Celtics, the Mavericks, the Hawks, the
superstar.
Heat, the
No.
Wolves, and the Grizzlies.
And then even his like commentary, and then he said he was like better than Dwayne Wade or something, and everyone laughed at him
Yeah.
on the panel. That's got hurt.
He's had from where I sit.
Yeah.
He's had a
He made $108 million and he went broke.
Antoine Walker?
Yeah.
Yeah,
lost.
spent about 200. Yeah,
But Pierce like the once Draymond Green got him with that burn.
oh, that's right.
When he
They're
was
not doing a tour for you.
He was trying to do like a farewell tour, when he was with the Clippers.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was at the free throw line, or maybe someone else at the free throw line, and they were both in the blocks.
I remember.
And Draymond Green just kept yelling, "They don't love you like Kobe.
Nope.
Why are you doing a retirement tour? They don't love you like
It's also
Kobe."
it's hard to do. I don't know if anyone pointed this out. It's hard to do a retirement tour with a different team.
With a different team, yeah.
If we would have stayed with the Celtics, then that would have been a more memorable
The only people
thing.
get retirement tours is one team. You have to be like an immortal.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
I think so. I
Maybe
think that's
like
the way it should
LeBron
work.
will get a retirement tour because he's like that good. But like otherwise, it's usually like a franchise guy and that's it.
Yeah. But if you go to the Pistons or something, then it's just like you what?
Dude, that would actually if I was a role player, that would be my bit in the NBA. If I was like retiring after like a 6-year carear, like 6 teams in 5 seasons, I'd be like, I'm doing a retirement.
End of the bench every game. You just stand up and start waving. What the fuck is that guy doing?
That'd be very funny.
Did the Celtics get me LL Bean boots?
Yeah.
So what are you doing now? You on the road or what? Where? So wait, are you living in Atlanta now, or are you?
Yeah. So I'm still based out of
there,
Atlanta and just kind of traveling wherever. I mean, if the time comes to need to make a switch, I'm happy to do that. But for now, Atlanta seems to be a good hub to keep home base and then make trips like these. I'm going to Austin next week, so it's been going good for right now. And I'm doing this festival Moon Tower that's in Austin in April, which will be a lot of fun. I was on it last year as well. So again, just keep making progress. My thing is like, was I better than I was last year? I'm not really worried about like who's ahead of me or who's behind me. Am I making progress? Am I getting better? As long as those are still
a healthy way to look at it.
I'm still enjoying doing stand-up.
Dude, especially once you realize that there's always somebody ahead of you.
Of course.
Like you think you made it. Even like the guy who's probably whoever's considered the top is probably looking up at somebody.
Yeah.
You know?
I say this now, but I might be back on a year from now and be like, Schultz is done, man. He's got to get out of the way, man.
That Matt Damon promo was wild, man.
Oh, I thought it was great.
If Matt Damon's doing like your commercials for you, you made it.
Yeah.
And he held his own with the acting and everything.
Yeah.
It was good.
Also, it was an awesome promo, and something about it while I was watching it where I was like, Matt Damon looks like Odysseus. I can buy this.
That's funny. It just came off set.
Yeah, cool. Because someone, I forget who I was talking to recently. It might have been you.
Yeah, he said Schultz was telling Charlemagne how it all came about, and he said that he was DMing with Damon, and he was like, "I'd love to do this," and Schultz was like, "Well, let me like when?" And he goes, "Well, I go to shoot the Odyssey on Friday, so
Hilarious.
Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, like." Squeeze me in before my Nolan movie.
Hilarious message to get.
Yeah. Crazy, man. It's like whenever the fuck you want, dude.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, that's good shit. So, what? Nick Murphy on? You want to plug anything, handles or anything like that?
I mean, I guess just my Instagram. Yeah, Nick 10 Murphy on Instagram. I mean, this kind of all started with you, which I appreciate. You didn't even know who I was, and you reposted one of my jokes. So
I'm always trying to. We were very lucky and we had a lot of good guests during that kind of boom.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys came through before they blew up. So I'm always, hoping to do it again and put more people on and expose more people.
I love that. And then it was just by luck that I met you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It kind of all came back together. Yeah.
In the weirdest
what was
green room of all time.
Yeah, that was the DC one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was like a Motel 6.
It's crazy.
And then it was 2 beds. Francis is laying down on one of the twin beds, and then there's another one just empty. You're at the desk.
Everyone was always trying to figure out, like, do I get a seat or do I have to like lay awkwardly?
I was like, guys, you want to gossip? What do you guys want to do? Let's lay down. Yeah.
We had Andy Letterman on like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, I think we were talking about when I was in DC. Maybe it was her, but I was like, yeah, and the green was so weird. And she's like, the one with the beds. And she was like, yeah, dude, the one with the beds.
Right away.
You're like, do we fuck? What is happening in here?
Yeah.
But Nick is incredibly, incredibly funny. So
what was
he's
the
on
thing? I don't
road,
remember what I
goes
reposted. Do you remember who it was?
Yeah, it was about my black teammates using the N-word, but then it turns out they're all white.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was great. That was fucking hilarious.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
that one did really well on
Yeah.
on Instagram.
That was very
Which,
funny.
by the way, I mean, obviously that is a joke because I haven't actually cleared that up yet, but there is a part 2. I was given the N-word pass by my black teammates, which, if you haven't gotten that as a white guy, you got to get cooler.
Yeah.
If you don't have a black person that's at least wanted you to say it for fun.
Dude, I had it at FSU. It was it was a kid.
I think everybody has the pass down there.
Dude, it was a kid who was in my frat. He's also a safety on the football team. And we were driving in his car one day, and I was singing along probably some 50 Cent song or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I stopped at the N-word. and he pulled over the car.
Oh, that's great.
And he was like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't say it. He's like, "I know you didn't say it. What, you think I'm a pussy?" And I was like, "No, I think I'm a pussy. I'm not saying the N-word in front of you, dude."
Mine was the whole team, and we're in a van going down to a tournament, so I'm trapped.
Say it.
Well, it was half and half. So you
Okay.
got to make up your mind. You know?
Wait, half saying half white
saying
black,
do
or
it.
half saying don't do it.
No, it was all black, and I'm the only white person. Even the
but there
coaches
were
are
black guys saying don't do it.
Yeah.
and you were literally the one.
and I'm the one white guy.
Oh, it's tough.
What'd you
And
go
I,
with?
if I was in the
I-
middle, otherwise
I
I would
hope
have jumped out of the van.
Eric-
But I had a middle seat.
What did I would err on? the
Of
side
course I did.
caution on that one.
Well, the joke I was doing on stage for a minute, like, it was not worth it. They beat the shit out of me. It was bad. Should not have said it. But no, of course I didn't fucking say it.
Being the only one is very funny. Like I when I was much younger, I played on teams where it was like there's a couple of us and we kind of banded together and there were jokes. But if you are singularly the guy,
Yeah.
it's very funny.
Yeah. And sometimes just getting the pass is enough.
Yeah,
right,
the fact
right,
that
right.
you're even saying this.
Have you seen the Sam Morril joke where he's like talks about getting the consent is enough sometimes, like instead of sex itself?
Yeah, just the fact that you'd be willing to let me.
Yes.
I feel good about myself.
I got off that van like I could have fucked all those guys. I could have smashed.
That would be funny. That's a funny thought too. Like even the guys who were giving you the pass, if you were to say it, they're like, "Ooh, I regret it. No, don't do that again."
No, and then it's like, what do you go hard? No hard? You get, you know,
Yeah, right. Gary Owens just posted a clip of some guy at like crowd work, just being like, "Do you say it?" And he was like, "Jesus fucking Christ, dude, what the fuck?"
I can see people asking Gary Owen.
Well,
that,
I was
'cause,
gonna say
mean,
if he's, he would be the guy.
yeah,
Um,
not even to your wife.
Oh, Gary.
I mean, no, like when you're telling her to get you something, not like in public.
At least you said Gary Goldman at first, and then it clicked. You said Gary
Gary
Owen.
Owen.
Like, all right,
Yeah.
that makes a lot more sense.
Gary Goldman, not so much.
That would be the biggest meltdown ever if Gary Goldman said it.
Imagine he just goes like Kramer. Fucking.
Well, that's
one
the
day
famous
Goldman
one,
just
right?
leaves.
There's only 2 rules of stand-up: is don't steal people's stuff and don't do a Kramer. That's really
Yeah.
the only 2 rules.
It's kind of crazy that Richards had like that episode of Curb where he kind of had like a little, not resurgence, but they joked about it or whatever. and it
Well,
was
the
like,
great video is the apology on Letterman.
Yeah,
Have you watched
that
that?
was fucking.
I don't know if I've seen
insane.
that
You gotta
one.
watch
I actually
it.
watched that recently.
It is outstanding.
Jerry's on the show.
Yes.
And he like sets it up kind of. I think he wanted.
But it's like he makes it like a serious thing.
Yeah.
As soon as Richard's going, he just looks funny, and you know
And
the
people are
situation, and
laughing.
the studio audience starts to laugh, and he starts to try to joke. There's a delay in the feed, so he's answering slowly. And he keeps saying Afro-Americans, which is already like, brother, you're already teetering here. And they start laughing, and
He's like,
Jerry's
"It's not funny, it's not
Stop
funny."
laughing, it's not funny. And it just makes it worse.
It's like
Letterman's
it's like
laughing.
the teacher being like, "Don't laugh. Like, you're gonna laugh."
Dude, I might tear my ACL right now with how tense my leg is.
It was crazy they even tried to do that, and that was like a day after, right? It was not like a long
I
time.
don't know how
I
recently,
thought
but
it was
yeah,
pretty
they
recent.
were trying to do damage control.
Yeah.
And it just had the opposite effect. People just laughed at him
It was
out of the
it
feed,
was-
basically.
It was impressively hateful. Like it was so.
Yeah.
He didn't just say it. He
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
He just keeps mentioning the rage. The rage just took over me, you know?
This is on Letterman?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He's in like a different, he's like zooming in. He's not, he's on Skype.
crazy.
He's not in the studio.
Yeah, it's over the computer. It's
They turn
fucking
on
nuts.
a video of him apologizing live.
Had to be like the worst PR blunder of all time. Like
Yeah,
whoever
I
set
guess.
that up is like,
yeah.
that was a bad fucking idea.
But it's
so.
such a funny video to watch in retrospect.
Yeah, don't steal jokes. Don't do that.
Yes.
And everything else should be all right.
Of course. Of course. And don't worry about who's ahead of you, you know?
Right.
I mean, I was impressed with you because I didn't even know. I was like, how long you been doing stand-up? And you literally go, that was like my 10th time, I think. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? What?
I know.
10
I
times.
know. He's fucking.
So it's-
he keeps being so like self-deprecating about it. I'm like, no, bro. It's
Well, you should
pretty
be.
Fucking
That's how you get better. But
Yeah.
the fact that you were going first, too, because I know some of the sets were different than some of the other ones.
Yeah.
But that's, you got to go first so you can learn how to go last, you know?
Oh, right, yeah.
That's a hard thing to do is start the show. You know, you got a host mess around a little bit, feeling
Crowd's
out,
warming up.
see-
That
go,
was like
get
an
'em warm.
interesting thing that like Francis was kind of teaching me, where he was like, yeah, this is a different job than the second.
For
guy.
you to be willing
This
to
is-
do that is big also, because like that's what I've been impressed by all the Barstool guys that I've worked with, is because you don't know people. I've worked with influencers. I'm not going to say who, but like you can tell this person expects arena level treatment.
So no,
You guys are all humble dudes on the stage. Like I didn't know what to expect from Harry the first time I worked with him. I thought he was gonna be like a bro, like shotgun of beers and the.
Yeah, everybody thinks that about us, and we're actually kind of like.
I
the
said
least
it on
bro
Boy
thing.
Dad 2 days ago, where I'm like, I thought it was gonna be Wolf of Wall Street when I walk in here, and you guys are throwing midgets into the wall and stuff.
Because actually, at heart, especially early on, maybe not so much anymore.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, we were like internet nerds. We were bloggers.
Yeah.
It's like we all had like websites set up to blog.
Right.
Like
if
gotta
you
be a
don't
fucking
spit in
dork.
my face, I am happy with how I'm treated.
Yeah.
The bar is really low. And we always like when we were touring for the podcast, it was like, "What do you have on your rider?" And we were like, "Bottles of water." Like, I don't know. We're good. Microphones.
Yeah. That did become a thing. Like, can we get mics? Like, yeah. If the stage comes with mics, like, all right, then we're all set.
Yeah, we're good.
No, that's great. So every time I've worked with you guys, it's like you give a shit about the process, you know, about doing good.
That's nice of you to say, but
So
because you like, what kind of like, I don't know. And
You gotta be
the
colossal
more
asshole.
we do this kind of stuff, I'm just like, the phrase people always say is like, he's an asshole, but he's earned it. Like I don't think that that doesn't apply to fucking anybody.
Just how about
No.
you can earn it and just not. It's like I got the pass, but I'm not going to say it. I'm sure. I guess I'm successful enough that I could be an asshole, but I'm just not going to.
Right.
You know.
Right. And all you guys have been very nice with. I mean, even just the Francis guest spots. That was just by chance. I just ran into him at the stand here in New York.
Yeah.
And I told him I was going to be in DC at the same time, doing much smaller shows. And he said, "Dude, come by the loft.
Hell yeah.
Come hop on." So that's how I met you guys and Brandon and all that shit.
That was awesome. That was my first weekend like doing it, and that was so cool that you came too, because I was like, oh, like I'm getting the experience, like a drop in, and I'm like, I'm trying to learn. I'm not.
Yeah, going first will make you cut your teeth quick because you got to get them going. Mm-hmm. The best, what everybody says, the feature spot is sort of the money spot.
That's the second spot.
The guy in the middle.
Yeah.
They're ideally already hot. If they're not, then you might have to do a little bit of hosting yourself. But ideally, it's already red hot.
No
you
pressure to
blaze
close
through
it
your
out.
20, and then you're done. You don't even have to go back up and introduce the last guy. You just go get hammered or whatever you want to do after the show. The host has to get them hot, and then obviously the headliner's got to make the ticket price worth it.
Yeah.
So the feature spot is like the easy spot. Easy whatever in quotes, but you know what I mean. So it's very good for you to go first like that and have to learn how to crack them open and different little tricks and this and that.
It is. The stressful part is like I know the other people are funny, so I just don't want to ruin the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, don't go have a fucking disaster up there, dude.
Don't fuck up. Yeah. And I don't think you did. I don't think. You only said the N word like 2-3 times in your set. But it's
that rage,
with a
that rage
Barstool
is bubbling
crowd,
up.
you got to get to 7-8 times before they're like, "Whoa, Heidelberg." Yeah.
All right, bro. Good shit. We appreciate you coming through.
This was awesome, man.
Nick, thank you
guys
so much, man. Go see Nick
it.
Murphy on the road.
Do it, please.
All right, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Click that button.
Or I'll cut off my finger.